They ask how are you dating? But please stop asking, I can't take it. So they tell me to stop chasing. You know it's over, time to face it. Oh, I know I should move on, but I just can't. Oh, I think that I might love you till the end. So how can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything, there's nothing when you're gone. How can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything, there's nothing when you're gone. There's nothing when you're gone. Too many great memories, I can't erase them. All I see when I walk past the street where we meet for a drink or two, end up drunk on you. Oh, I know I should move on, but I just can't. Oh, I think that I might love you till the end. So how can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything, there's nothing when you're gone. How can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything, there's nothing when you're gone.
Can't get too far from all your strings, I'll always be your plaything. So put some life inside of me, I'm full of fluff, I never bleed. After all the sweet nothing, leave my body here to ride. Disasters got my heart jumping, with what is left on earth. Can't feel my cuts and I miss these scars. I see the open wounds of everything you take to part. I can't help but smile. Love it when you pull me inside out and then tear me apart. I feel like you're torn apart. I'll always be the thing. I'll always be the thing. Although I can't feel the touch on my skin, you left me far from my feelings within. Every night starts with the sound of the crackling, the war before it all begins. And when the moon shines on me, I'll be dancing for you till it all ends. All in the spotlight. I love it when you pull me inside out and then tear me apart. I feel like you're torn apart.
local, that's why bro, brother grip his gun. This thing so freaky, really. She wanna fuck me by the back, no front. Suck me up in a Lambo truck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. Everyone know me as a local tuck. Supplying this grub and the local pluck. Ching pon me, my coat or tuck. Been on roads that Jake so fuck. Never like no one coming up. I was in the trap, I was also young. Got one young, she never had no luck. Took him in, he was fucking up. Now the Jake's all on me. Why do you think I got my mask on the situation sticky? I was in a bando breaking down grub while Zach got the blocks all jumpy. Fucking with a gang, pussy come with a verbal chat, and the man them's touchy. Yo, all night I was feeling cocky. I was moving reckless way, nearly got nicked but I got off lucky. Tackle man down if I see a knob like I'm in the field still playing rugby. On the roads we're doing that Michael and Jason, pull up with a son or Chucky. Lastly, big girl ting but she's moving fussy. Benny, Louis, Gucci, she wanna suck me while she's riding passy. Lucky, all this sin in my J telling me to pray to the Lord above me. Grip this rubber, I'm making fatty. Jake's on me, now the football coming like Messi. This thing got me moving, loco, come like Kojo, I'm making these funds. Up and down, no YOLO, done on my solo, I'm making these runs. I want showboat, come like burner, keep it on the low, I might get done. I wanna take no photos, looked at bro, one wrong move, get bun. One wrong move, get bun on the waist, still avoiding purple, I'm ripping the sun. Say no promo, lifestyle's local, that's why bro, brother grip his gun. This thing so freaky, really. She wanna fuck me by the back, no front. Suck me up in a Lambo truck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. 4 bad bees in a Lambo truck. 3 tick things and a deck thing suck. Let them in cause she still one suck. Let them in cause she still one buck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. Where we're from, bare men been touched. Step round in, you might get touched. Step round in, you might get yucked. Mom told me don't test my luck, but I'm sorry, mom, need to get this print. This dead thing, say she won't get fucked. Close my eyes, they just give me in. I don't like bad bees, short and sweet. 5 for 5, it's just 10 out of 10. You heard that line, I'm finna lie. I'm just trying to get a feature with Stench. Bro, just caught freelance, no logo. I told bro like no more. Done this thing on my solo. Back then, bad bees say no go. Back then, bad bees say homo. Now they all want Bronco. Now they all want photo. Looked at bro like no. Zach got a stick, no polo. That's why bros must up like Zorro. Wanna link girl go Soho. Make her bounce on my dick, no pogo. GS keep then go. Can't wipe that picture, oh. Hey, where you at? You in Bedo. Caribbean girl Barbados. This thing got me moving, loco, come like Kojo, I'm making these funds. Up and down, no YOLO, done on my solo, I'm making these runs. I want showboat, come like burner, keep it on the low, I might get done. I wanna take no photos, looked at bro, one wrong move, get bun. One wrong move, get bun on the waist, still avoiding purple, I'm ripping the sun. Say no promo, lifestyle's local, that's why bro, brother grip his gun. This thing so freaky, really. She wanna fuck me by the back, no front. Suck me up in a Lambo truck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck.
Live now, huh? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and welcome to the Battle for Supremacy Valorant tournament. This is an all-woman series tour organized by Urban Madness and a sports marketing professional known as Living Minds. We'd also like to thank Teddo. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of the event, Teddo, based in Malaysia. Teddo specializes in gaming setups, most prominently keycaps and mouse grips. They're also part of their specialty. They have a wide variety in their store on Instagram. Check them out if you want to spice up your keyboard game or sprinkle some personality in your setups. And good news for West Malaysians, delivery is free. So what are you waiting for? Check out the page right away and find something that screams your style. That's teddo.co on IG. Now back to the main event. Kay, take over.
Now you see, today we will be shoutcasting for an exclusive event right here. Battle for Supremacy. It is an all-women series, and this will be one of the most exciting tournaments that we will be watching for today. So what do you think about what will happen today? What are your expectations here?
I expect not much expectations, I can say. I've never seen an all-woman series like locally done yet, so what I can feel, I'm feeling hyped for this stuff. I'm really looking forward to teams battling it out and seeing how female players. This is not sexist in any way, but I'm trying to see how the girl gamer side is doing in the community, how they're faring in this community, you know. And I believe female players have the potential to like stand among male players as well. I feel like the gender doesn't actually hinder your progress, doesn't hinder your skills, anything. It all comes down to the individual. Yeah.
And we all know that the gamers area, the community, is mostly dominated by the males. But this will be interesting as this will be all women. So we will get to see the female side of the gaming, especially on Valorant, and we will see how well they play and how different their gameplay will be. Or let's just see if they have any tricks that we have not seen yet.
Yeah, most definitely, because you can say the industry is saturated. I'd say saturated. The gaming
Yeah.
industry is saturated with male players, mostly male players. You don't really see female players that often, and this is actually a good start. It's a new pavement for female players in general to like start their Valorant pro careers. I'd say pro careers because looking at their teams, we have very proficient players actually to say the least. I won't name a few here. I won't just name a few here. I'll just say that there's actually potential in this lineup.
Yes, yes, I agree.
All right.
So speaking of Teddo, I would actually honestly seeing their products. I have seen some of their products and honestly they're very quite interesting and I would love to personalize my own setup with them.
Yeah, definitely. I just ordered a Royal Clutch and stuff like that. I just want to customize my keyboard right away as well. Seeing how, I mean, the Royal Clutch keyboard, the keys are nice, but I would prefer something more tactile, you know. So I definitely go for
Yeah.
something from um Tito. Yeah, and don't forget to go check out Tito though. Tito is actually they specialize in keycaps. They're really good at what they do, and they're a homegrown company. They're homegrown. They're based in Malaysia, and like I said once again, it's free. If you're a West Malaysian, you're in luck. They send that over to you for free. Delivery is totally free of charge.
Yes.
Mm. So, female series, huh? We never really done this yet, but I think this is gonna be an eye opener for all of us. I'm looking forward to see a lot of things, how things will play out. It's gonna be 4 teams. Just back in yesterday, we had the elimination rounds. Now we're down to 4, and it's gonna be starting off with Renatus versus Governors. Yes, this is
Yes.
gonna be interesting. Yes, because from the plays yesterday, if you really paid attention and tuned in yesterday, you can actually tell they're of high caliber. They're actually pretty good, pretty decent. They're not lackluster in any way. They're in a league of their own. Let's say that.
So that will be quite interesting. I agree. I agree.
Yep, I agree as well. So the time ticks. Let's talk about patch notes then. Are you looking
Ooh.
keen on the patch notes? I mean, comparing to 1 year ago, I can tell that there's a lot of agent changes and all that. I mean, it's for balancing out, but that let's talk about that new agent though, Chamber.
I can the new chamber, but what I can really say is that Jet took the hardest blow. As we all know, there are a lot of pro players that main Jet.
Definitely. I mean, why would you need Jet? I mean, not Jet as in Jet's not good, but you know, with Chamber out, the teleporting and stuff like that. I mean, the teleporting is very viable. I think the teleporting is kind of broken, actually. I think it has to have a nerf.
Yes. So it'll be quite difficult to see how many of the pro players had to adjust to the nerfs and the changes, and especially with Chamber and the new map. I think not many people are still used to Fracture.
Yeah, me too. I also feel like not many people are used to Fracture yet, but it's a solid starting point, and we have to integrate this map into the matches as well. It's
Yes,
still something that has to
eventually.
be considered. Yes, eventually, of course, eventually. So, um, seeing how you're a female gamer as well, Kay, what are your thoughts on this? How do you feel? How do you feel about female gamers in this industry? How do you think they fare in here?
Well, honestly, lately, especially with the last decade, I've seen more and more female gamers on the rise, especially with Twitch, as Twitch is now dominated by female gamers and as well as other games. And in Valorant, there are also a lot of rising female gamers. So that is very interesting. And I'm very excited for this event, really.
I'm really excited as well. If yeah, just yesterday, there's a lot of action going on just yesterday in the elimination rounds. Now we're just down to 4, and these 4 are something else. I'll just say that it's something else, and it's gonna start really soon. Once again, it's gonna be Governors versus Renatus White. Renatus White, actually has a bit of a name here. If you paid attention to FSL, you know them pretty well. It's gonna be Kohai B, Majesty, Caphrodite, and the likes of NVS and Mochi YX. Those familiar names you probably know if you've been paying attention to FSL. You have Governor's side, you have Lucidity, Steph, Joey, Naki, and Crossy. All familiar names too if you've paid attention. Once again, so it's gonna be a tight match, I can see. And let's talk about player profiles then. What do you think about Governors facing off with Renatus? How do you think a prediction, an outcome? Who, whose cards are you playing? I'll say like that.
What I can really say is that there isn't really something that I can say, because this map, this game will be unpredictable, as we have not seen these two, of course, play against each other quite yet. I really can't say I have any judgment or any predictions for this one. I am absolutely blindfolded on this one.
Absolutely blindfolded. Me as well, but I kind of feel like I have my cards played with Renatus. I kind of feel like they can bag this, Not biased, but I feel like they're really on par, very, very pro in their own sense. And I'm
But
really
it's
looking forward
always
to how they
the
play.
underdogs. There's always the underdogs, the ones that are not quite unknown,
Yeah,
that
definitely.
will suddenly have their spotlight.
Yes, of course. It always works that way, during those, especially like save rounds. There's always miracle and save rounds and stuff. I've always wanted to see how those underdog teams fare off with those top dog teams. Not to say they're really top dogs and stuff. I'm just saying like team composition is important, and sometimes team synergy plays a big role. Not sometimes,
Most of the
all
time,
the time, most
they
of the
have to
time.
know how they need to trust each other, and they need to know how to look on each other's angles, and of course how they will work together as a team.
Yes, yes, of course. Momentum is also one thing, because one thing I noticed about teams dying off, like they built them up. The ego is there. There's rapport and all that stuff. They're stable, but as the momentum builds up, it will suddenly decay in the process over some mistakes. It happens with a lot of teams. You can take Sentinels, Liquid, just to name a few, because they're much more prominent in the pro gaming industry. Yes, you can tell actually. Once you build something up, you have to make sure you can maintain that posture, because they die
Yeah.
off. You can die off like just halfway through the game, and it's very crucial, to stay sane. Stay sane, not stay. Don't be tilted. That's all I'm saying. Don't be
Yes,
tilted. Yes, but it's easy to tilt actually, if you're in a competition or some sort.
I did watch a tournament the other day, and let's just say the underdogs did have a very high ego, and they did eventually fall off. So even if you win the first couple rounds, there is a chance, if you get too egoistic, too confident, you may just end up falling down really deep.
Definitely, I feel like that as well. I mean, hasn't it always happened like that? Because pro teams, once they get to the top of the chain actually gets loose and they fall off very easily, yeah, by other teams. Because you are a subject of study to other teams already,
Yes, and
You are
you
studied.
end up being too confident. And you, like, for example, when you're playing as defender, you start pushing when you're not supposed to be pushing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get overconfident. Don't get too cocky. Don't get too cocky. Yes, risky plays are a must, but don't get too ballsy to the point that you'll risk the team's victory. Yeah,
Yes,
and
yes.
looking how time is almost up. We have a little 9 minutes again. Yeah, we have up to 9 minutes. The teams are prepping up as we're talking, and we're just excited. We're just as excited as you guys are, and let's talk more about stuff then before things really go down. You got anything on your mind lately at the gaming scene? Okay.
No, I have not. I have been thinking about the future changes, as we are now in the championships. As well as there's a new variant, so more people will be going into the gaming scene as a new variant for COVID. So the gaming community has been a saving grace for very many people, which I can say. And it's been helping with a lot of people, keeping them busy with mental health and etc. So I'm very grateful to the gaming community, and I just think it will still the gaming community will still keep on growing. Honestly,
It's, it's a nice thing to say. Yeah, COVID's a thing. Just this new Omicron thing that's going rampant. I'm not saying it's rampant. It's not really rampant, but it's getting there, you know. And
sadly,
yeah, sadly, it's gonna take some time before things are going to go back as it used to be. But Omicron, that really doesn't stop the gaming community though, because everything's digital, you know, technical.
so which
It's
is
digital.
helping. Yes, like for example, many of the teenagers and the kids are not allowed to hang out with their friends and their classmates anymore. So of course, they can always play video games with their friends nowadays. So that always helps them. So that will be a good. It's a good help that there is this whole gaming scenery.
It's a substitute of the physical activities you do. It's like much
Yeah.
more indoor activities. You're safe. You still hang out with your friends. I mean, just like your usual. Nowadays, kids hang out in Discord and stuff like that. We're all over the place. You know, we're more connected than ever in this era. You know, we're in
We
the
are
digital age.
actually.
Yes. So there's actually nothing to be like sad about. I mean, sad about one thing you have to be sad about is that there's not much physical activity going on anymore, and there's much more restrictions on movement. Yeah, but gaming community, it's just a fat after that. you know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and looking back at these players, though, woman, I feel like they're often underlooked, overlooked in the gaming scene. What do you feel about this, though? I feel I've met pro female players. I have a few pro female players myself, like friends of mine. They play very well. They play better than me, to say the least. And like I feel like their presence in the gaming community is always undermined. You know?
Yes, it's very. I remember when it was Pokimane when she reached like high elo, a lot of people actually bashed her, saying that she was boosted or etc. But they gotta believe that there are very powerful female gamers out there, and they could beat you any day. Honestly, it's just they are often overlooked.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, yes, there is. Just this entire tournament is an example of that already, because you have like very pro female players all over Malaysia and Singapore. They're all gathered here today to show us a good time, you know. And yeah, I'll say don't don't
Don't
underlook
underlook
women.
them.
Don't, yeah,
Yes.
don't look down on women though, because I've been losing the woman a lot actually in games. Yeah, and yeah, back to what you said about Twitch. Yeah, it's female dominated. Yes, the platform is actually female centered, female dominated, because it has something to do with simps.
Wow.
But yeah,
That is, I won't say no to that. Oh well,
yeah, I
let's.
was
It
about that.
seems like it's starting.
Seems like it's starting. All right. So let's take a look here. It's gonna be Icebox on system. Let's see. So first off, we have Renatus versus Governors. All right. It's gonna be Icebox, and they're in character selection right now, and we'll see what the team composition is gonna be made up of, and hopefully we'll move on from there.
So it seems like there's already two Jet lock. Seems like the nerfs of Jet did not really affect their choice, which is interesting.
Let's see.
So it seems like Governess will be on the attacker side for now, and the defenders will be the Retinus.
So yeah, Governors will be attacking side, and you have um Renatus on defending. For the first
Yeah.
half, you have most of them locked in already. It's the usual, very tactical team composition. It's very workable, very workable.
Both
Can't
teams
miss out on
have a
Soul.
healer, and both teams have Sova, and both teams have a duelist. Actually, quite similar teams. Yes.
It's quite similar. You can't miss out on Sova here. Information is important, and I feel
Yes.
like Majesty is gonna go for Viper. Yes, Viper. And Naki, Contrast.
Yes,
There's
they have the
similarity here.
exact same teams actually.
Yeah, speaking of it, you're right on that, Kate. They
Yeah.
have exact same teams. Let's
I
see how
had
this is
to
gonna
look
play out.
back and forth to see if I was right, but yeah.
Yeah. You're right on that. Let's see. All right, match is getting started. Let's see. Right away, Renatus versus Governors. Game 1 start. Let's go. Starting off with defending side, you have Renatus. Represented here, you have pistols and all that. They're getting ready with equipment. I see light armors as well on both sides, but not much on weapons. Not much for weapons on Renatus, you know? Like, they're going with heavy. They're going on a buy. I see a ghost, I see a frenzy, I see two ghosts, a frenzy, and
And
it's
two
a
shields.
saving. It's a saving round for Governors. They're going light here, but they're going with armors though, so hopefully it's a strat where they pick up guns from their enemies and just carry on from there. Yeah.
As you see, already managing to set up, but it seems like they will be
Revealing
pushing
area.
A for this round. First pick by Envious. Cross picking up Envious, and let's see how this is playing.
Spike down A.
Keeper Knight soloing, handling A by yourself.
Holding it quite well.
Working
For
well.
you.
Seeing how it's not very feasible. You have members of Governor just back off and rotating back to B, but yeah, people of Renatus White, they already caught on and they're moving to B as well. There's a little untold information here, but see, yeah, Knight already making her way onto site, and I think she has a sixth sense here. It's on the recon dart to see if there's anyone here. Actually gets scanned.
Right.
Toxins going up. Yeah, they're trying to get this fight down.
Spike down B.
One.
Last player standing.
Another
30
OTX.
seconds left. Healing.
This happens to fight. And yeah, things cleaned up my major
There
here.
we go. Defenders won this one. Well played by
First
Renatus.
round. Yeah, the first round goes to Renatus White, and it's looking strong for Knight here. Already solid with 3 kills there, and assists, and it's actually a tie for Crossy there. They're both doing pretty well, I guess, but it was actually pretty close. They actually don't have time, not like time. There wasn't a safe position for them to actually plant the spike, so that's on
No
them,
prisoners.
And it seems, well, Renatus White has decided to actually buy this round, while Governess decided to stick with the saving, except for Crossy, who bought a Eagle. A shield.
Enemy tag.
Actually got one. Knight spots Crossy, advances to mid a bit. There. There's a little bit of turmoil in A there. You
The
see there's
is already very low. Luckily getting healed by her teammate.
there's subtle movements there. Slowly moving. Yep. Kohai be getting out. Backs off right away.
Poison's gone.
Gets another pick on Naki, but gets picked away by Crossy as well. It's trading.
One enemy remaining.
Back trading.
Spike down A.
It's 3v1. Let's see if Crossy can handle herself. 5. Much bullets here, but actually gets taken away by Knight. This secures the second round for Renatus White once again.
It was a gun diff on that round as well. But I really loved how Envious would play with her dashes. She really knew how to get out of the situations. She would take a few picks and then immediately dash away.
Exactly. That was actually feasible. Envious play here. It's looking pretty solid for Renatus as of now, but I feel like Crossy's doing a lot of work to get their team back on track. And it could be anyone's game, you know? And
Crossy and Knight once again still leading with the 5 kills.
wow, okay. Teams of Governors just aggressively stomping through B. They're trying to make a hard entry in there, but there's a micro wall, and there's not much information for there. The wall's already down, and they're trying to plant the spike as soon as possible. But
Spike
double shot
planted.
very lucky. And they're getting picked up by members of Renatus White slowly. Crossy is in a corner trying to secure angle his team.
Two people already watching flying, and seems like Naki has the lineup for this one.
Pop that enemy mark away. Possible. Wall.
Sadly, Joey did not get that.
Nice. That's very nice.
Last player
Blind shot.
standing.
It's gonna be one player now. That's very back to back.
Toxin screen down.
No position there. Backfired on him. The wall has backfired on him, and Crossy secures the round for Governors.
Governors getting their first point on this round.
I do say to myself, Crossy actually pulled out the Empress in the second round. Was that third round? Got them the first win. But that Viper's wall by Majesty back there, it kind of obstructed her vision and kind of lost them that game because Crossy was just moving back to back with some support from Steph. Yeah. And they sweeped up members from Renatus White one by one from there.
Standing ahead.
The advance towards mid there. Lead. Vision blocking, stomping right
Take
away.
flight.
B side.
Spike down B.
Orange making their way towards Orange now. It's just gonna be Majesty solo on site. They're chasing them down. Crossy's having the spike down. Yeah, members there. Securing the site.
From mid here to meet with Naki. Let's see if they can secure it. Oh,
One enemy remaining.
Crossy's just going very aggressive on Renatus right now. He's mopping them.
One enemy remaining.
a great play by Mochi right there with the wall bang.
Down to 1v1 now, and looks like it's gonna be tight for them. But Crossy has the time advantage here, so. Oh, but where's the shot? But Kate back and actually gets back of here. He almost whipped that though, but that was fortunate. Fortunately, he did not lose that.
It is now a 2-2 point. Two teams are now in a draw.
Back to equal footing right away. I mean, it was a strong start for Renatus, but Governors just picked their pace and went right back. Now it's equal. It's equal. But
Crossy
yeah,
stepped up her game with 11 kills and 2 deaths.
looks like the tactics this time will be A, but most of the members of Renatus are getting caught up right away, and see how they're just stomping in and ramming the second side. Yeah,
Very aggressive.
they're very aggressive. Wow, how the tides have changed. Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
They're down to 1 now. It's gonna be 4-1, and it's not looking very good for Majesty. Her health is absurdly low.
Majesty does not have a proper gun as well, so this was a safe for them.
I can't see Renatus winning this round anymore because it's too risky. Not too risky. It's kind of impossible. 1 against 4, and for low health, to say the least.
Unfortunate. She could have gotten a few picks there if it was
Yeah.
only one gun diff at that moment.
But that was a solid effort. You're seeing how they're picking up the pace here now. You have Governors. They're just stomping into sight, making them uncatchable. You know, there's nobody staying behind. Nobody's flanking. They're just stomping into sight, guarding flanks and stuff.
It's being
That's
very
out of their book.
aggressive. Surprisingly, as it's like the round has just started.
The round has just started though, but
And they're very aggressive already.
it looks like this time it's gonna be a split now. Scope there. There's the recon dart. It's gonna be a little bit of stress right away, but they decide to move to A slowly with pace because members of Renatus White are already making their way to mid as well. They're keeping close tabs on movement there. It's subtle, but it's there. Right over there, but gets punished by Mochi X. Naki sees that's not a very good sign. Decides to put out that snake bite to make her back off. But you have members of Governors down to 3 now, and they're not actually in sight, you know?
Mochi did not like that aggressive push. She did not like that, and she knew exactly where to counter that.
quiet. It's gone quiet all of a sudden, but they're you have Renatus having very close taps on the site there. They're having full control. You can see they're dominating side action.
They really cannot push A as there is already a Viper's Pit, so they have no choice but to push B.
There's a green light
Scanning ahead.
already from Naki. There's the poison
30 seconds left.
toxic screens.
Right here.
Welcome to my world.
Here.
Spike. But there comes the Hunter's Fury.
Oh, Cage
Struck
with
flanking.
that with the plant.
Not enough fuel.
Oh,
Okay. They were running out of time, they had no choice.
Last player standing.
Pulls on the sword, but gets blind shot by Hyde again and
So
secures
Ivy with that
third
fourth
round.
Defuse the spike.
It's back to back now, huh? It's gonna be 3-3 this time. Scavenging for guns from their enemies, and you have Mochi's Resurrection on standby, you have Kahaibi's Empress on standby as well, and you have most of the members from Governors, they have their ults on standby as well. Joey, Lucidity, and Steph. You can bring back a member or two like during fights, so it's gonna be viable. Not viable, I mean, they can take some risks here, you know? It's 3v3, still early, it's still hard to say.
It was actually quite interesting as both teams did pull out a Viper's Pit,
Yes, yes.
which made them own the side. So that Viper's Pit really helped them.
Countered, it's actually countered.
Get
by
out of
that.
my way.
Yes.
By the pit. So, a bit of fighting going on, and mid already sprays. Mochi just trying to secure mid by herself.
Get inside.
Members of Governors just moving to A. They kind of caught the alarm now. To A, just stomping in. Spike's already going down. Diddy just backing up the Blade Storm there, checking around the site, seeing how.
He with the first kill again.
Begins.
Sadly, they just gotta back off now.
Enemy down.
Oh, what's this? Cape Knight, is Cape Knight, Joey? I saw her AFK.
Nowhere to run!
There's the Hunter's Fury from Joey. Back off like a very solid headshot step. A second, probably not. Caught up by Mochi X once again. Mochi X down to one health C.
Last player standing.
Bag it. The only person left. Get by Joey there. And it's another win for Governors.
What I did notice with that round is that Naki really does have the lineups. I've seen her, like she plants and she always backs up to a point where she has that venom. It's ready to be lined up, to be thrown to whoever tries, even dares to defuse these spikes.
Here.
As well. She has her lineups memorized in the like worst possible situations, you know. It's actually helping out a lot for Governors, and they're right on track. It's gonna be 4 now, and right off the bat, you have Lucidity taking down Mochi X right away. They just lost their healer. It's gonna be tough for Renatus to like come back here. Mid, already in mid.
One enemy remaining.
Crossy and Steph stretching back and forth. It's just Majesty once again alone on site. Gonna have to take on 4 members of Governors all at once. I guess Spike's already going down. She hears that, moving there. It's gonna be tougher to take on 4. You have a close encounter from Joey just in a corner, but I think Majesty actually smells something there. But she doesn't actually check. It's gonna be punishable for her there. Oh, like I said, Joey was there camping right away.
It would have been difficult for her to win this, but it could have been also much more favorable if she managed to take a few picks to push them against the wall when it comes to their budget. Because right now, Governors have a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right on that, Kay. You can tell the pace is going very fast. The pace is fast here. You have members of Governors just swooping in at the site and taking down members of Renatus right away. They're just taking them one by one. And one by one as in seconds. They just try to secure the site as soon as possible. And they make them not have enough time to rotate. Like in the case of Majesty, they're just...
And it seems like as well, if you look right now, it seems like Renatus White have decided to save this round and only go with pistols. And barely too many shields.
It's already there's something going there. You have Lucidity as well. Again, first spike.
You will not kill my ally.
Drone.
That
Enemy tag.
Right away. but let's see if GX and Yang bring the spike to the table here. Spike's already down.
One enemy remaining.
But wow, Steph just alone
Wow.
sweeping the
That
floor
was
with
a
the
great
remaining members
play right there.
of Renatus White there. Wow, this is actually going into the hands, into the favors of Governor, you know? I can kind of feel like they're playing very wild, you know? That's a wild play, I'll say.
Before the game. We mentioned this before the game where we would notice how first teams would of course like get a first couple wins, but then once you get a bit too confident, the other team will easily start taking the wins and take the momentum.
Yes, I feel like that's a tactic, you know, you're trying to study how the opponent plays, you know, that's actually pretty smart, I'd say. But it's actually surprising to me that Governors, they're actually quite aggro. They're aggro to the point they're not punishable, you know? But I guess I've spoken a little bit too soon there. You have Envious already taken a scope on his doppelganger Lucidity, and they just lost their duelist there, but see if they can rely on Crossy, but Crossy gets punished by Caperdite and guarding on mid. They can't allow Governors to go onward anymore, but you have members of Governors already going deep into site to prepare a launch into site B. Stalling them for a bit. Time is ticking. There's only 40 plus seconds on the clock, and you have members of Governors just waiting there, just waiting for tension to ease down a bit. But they decide not to go there. Yeah, they decide not to go to B, but instead rendezvous back to A. And I think sites,
30
all the
seconds
sites
left.
are actually really well guarded by members of
Fours and
Renatus.
fours
They're not
remaining.
allowed to advance. Just
Seems
have
like, and I'm
Joey
checking
as
the chat right now. Many of the chat has been cheering on for Governance here, and Aldo says, "Keep up the momentum."
Spike
10
down
seconds
A.
Governance.
One enemy remaining.
revenge there, but oh, it's the lone wolf
Scanning
herself. It's Joey. There's too much of a distance from her and the spike, and time is already above her there. This doesn't make things good, and it's gonna be another win for Renatus White. I must say, they actually hold down sites pretty well that last round, and they had full control over the map. Yes.
If they can keep holding a site down without letting Governess enter the site at all, they will have a chance for redemption here.
Here.
You're right on that, Kay. That's very correct. Sticking out the A again. It's gonna be the same usual tactic. You have
Get out of my
pushing.
way!
It's gonna be a hard push, I guess. Just the drone. Joey just scout site. He actually sees Envious with an operator making him back off. Yeah, there's actually two. But Envious is holding that position, doesn't want to actually back off, scoping that exact site, holding it for someone to actually walk into the scopes there. Joey still
That is very dangerous here. And she backs off, which is a smart move. Envious has that on lockdown, that specific angle.
just speculating whether to like enter or not. But you have Lucidity just checking around site. She's gonna catch corners of Majesty there. Actually, oh, doesn't actually catch Majesty at the last second. Advance, okay, it's gonna be a green light for Governors to move towards B. Site's actually secure. Members of Renatus White caught on.
Screen down.
Gonna go there, but Lucidity's already cleaning up the place for a secure spot plan. Just check its site here.
Poison's off.
Spike
They already
planted.
have the spike down planted. So let's see how they can counter this. It's now a 2v5.
One enemy remaining.
Crossing at an angle, and Lucidity is actually herself pretty well. Reaper Knight, front, gets the but doesn't get the potential sword and gets crossed out by Steph there, but that was a solid run. That was actually
That was a solid clear right there.
Last round
that
in
was
the
a solid
half.
clear, but that was too late. It was too late. You have Governors, they're actually pretty fierce on this. With Lucidity, he was actually on B alone, and he was cleaning up site for Governors to have a secure spike plan. Crossy is moving up towards yellow there, having an op on her hands. She just scopes out angles, you know. It's the duelist's job there. They did it, they executed the plan really well. Last round of the match. I mean, last round of the first half. See a potential push on B. Majesty soloing everyone on B there. You have Naki just.
Quite dangerous as they're all playing together. But he's trying to hold it down for as long as possible.
Whoa.
Definitely provides
Spike
already
down
there.
Wow, that's a very solid pickup.
One
They're
enemy
gonna pick
remaining.
up from Renatus. They're trying to clean up them one by one, and it's gonna be Naki alone on mid. Caught up too late, but oh, the Hunter's Fury. Caught off where she is. There's the spray. They're trying to spray her down.
Long.
Oh.
Play by Renatus White.
That makes up the first round then.
Switching
It's solid,
sides.
Solid. That makes up the first round. And yeah, Renatus now on attacking, and Governors on defending. Let's see how they fare here, you know? So far, it's been pretty solid. What do you think about this game?
I think honestly they are trying to push back. They're not letting them get into side that easily. They are not going down without a fight, and it's only a 2-point difference here. So it's not that difficult to catch up and take the win here.
Yeah, I guess so as well. It's pretty solid, and it could still be anyone's game. It's still starting here, and let's check out their inventory. You have ghosts and stuff. Seeing how this is a long.
This is
range
gonna
map.
be
They have
fun.
to play around the range here, and
But
there's
Lucidity is coming in with a short-range weapon, the Frenzy, so which is quite interesting actually.
yeah, that is a very. You have good eyes there, okay? We're actually gonna see how she's gonna fare with that frenzy there. Maybe she's just gonna rush into sight, spray him down, because you know the frenzy is just good at it. His footsteps already made. Putting that orb, getting the orb down to have 1 point forward into her resurrection, her ult. Spike's just at base though, not at base, actually just out in the lobby there. Green light, they're going towards A. They're going towards A slowly.
Zipline. Whitey's being a bit aggressive there. Can she be backed up? Saved by Crawford right there.
Spike down A.
Seems like the frenzy is actually working for Lucidity.
Down.
Last player standing.
Leaf pick. For Lucidity there. Crossy in her gang there. Fend off Kfredite herself. Kfredite not
One enemy remaining.
Already
Now
taking one down. It's gonna
1v1.
be 1 to
Okay, for
1.
that with
30
more
seconds
health here,
left.
though.
Yes, it does have more health here.
Ooh, they
double
just
tap from-
missed each other.
Yes. A right click from Kfredite is gonna give Crossy her grave right away.
Ooh, they just been missing each other.
Oh,
Great
that was
play by
a solid one
Kfredite
tap.
right there.
Doesn't actually get time to manage to find the spike, but hey, it was just Kfredite doing all the work that round, and they actually missed each other quite a few moments there, but it was Kfredite's win at the end.
Well, it was the two top players of the teams actually, as they're both now running 15 and 16 kills.
So as well, 15 and 16 kills. They're top dogs. They're bringing the team, you know. They're leading the team a bit. 6 to 7. It's still tight. Still gonna be
Revealing area.
And this on A here. Kfredite pulling out that that Sova drone.
Enemy marked.
Take one already. But Lucidity backs off right away, but actually gets picked off by MDS, and they're making a strong approach into A. Trying to pick up.
One enemy remaining.
It's gonna be sweeping there. Crosses but cannot
Toxin screen.
actually
No fuel.
face 3 at once.
Poison orb.
Gets overwhelmed, and it's gonna be 7 to 7 right now. Another victory for Renatus White, and they're actually picking up the pace here. Yes.
We're back to the tie.
Yes.
So this is actually quite a very close game. Because at first, Renatus was trying to lead the game, but then Governess easily took back then, and now Renatus is taking that back once again. So it's not, we can't really tell who's gonna win on this one because they're both equally matched
Right here.
actually.
Yes, they're actually equally matched. It's just consecutive blows, you know, like
Take flight.
back-to-back blows on each team. They come back in the most possible seconds, like impossible seconds. Seeing how the team is trying to move into B site there. members of Governors already caught on. They already caught on, but it's actually too late.
Well, Governess is saving, remember, so they're all still playing with pistols, while the other team already, everyone has a Spectre and full shields. Aside from Envious.
Spike
now
planted.
Solid win now. They just have to play time. There. Get, oh, possibly just already caught a flank from Frosty there. Punishable act here. You have just Majesty moving into mid, catching her doppelganger off guard. It's gonna be 2v1, 2v5.
One enemy remaining.
Envious.
Flawless.
1 second is close there. Envious is all yet. Their doppelgangers. Back to 8-7 now. It's gonna be RTS on the lead a bit. Guess it's gonna be the usual plan here. They're gonna stick with A. It's the usual. What can I say? They're just gonna leave. They're gonna leave Majesty lurking around mid once again. Let's see if it's a solid Blaze Storm from Envious. They're already trying to make a move there. Hopefully there's not already. Lucidity catches them off guard there. Mojave down to 4-4. Naki and the gang are already moving into A. Members of Renatus already making their way to the site as well. They're trying to make a comeback here. Trying to take that site. Trying to not make them plan.
Spike planted.
Seems like a rough play. Seems like they cannot retake their site. And they have already... And Renatus have already secured the site, so that's going to be quite a difficult to back.
Last player standing.
There's not solo governor left. You have members of RTS creeping up on her. She doesn't have exact location, but
one enemy remaining.
There's a from above. Just catch,
Great trade.
catch off guard, and another win for RTS. Renatus doing pretty solid on the attacking side of things, and yeah, what do you think? I mean, it's back-to-back blows, really.
Really, because you can't really tell, because like sometimes they do a really hard push, sometimes they can't, but for that round it was really difficult for Governess to retake that side and take it back, but they managed still somehow. So it is now a 9-point and 7. So let's see how this plays. Envious with a hard push, but taken down and punished by Lucidity.
She has a Blaze Storm up already, but Spice still at lobby though. I'm trying to see if circumstances are allowing for them to advance at the site. It's 4 to 5 here. It's a defender's map though, like for this time, but I think I've spoken a little bit too soon, and it's gonna be 4 to 4 now. Somebody off guard and sees.
So unfortunately,
Just alone, and it's a green light for them to plant at B site now. Yeah,
Scanning ahead.
Looking around. It's 3-4 now, huh?
Oh, 3v3
Wait.
now.
Silence.
Caperdite holding her own.
It's Sova versus Sage in this game. Both not very great on health.
It's a doppelganger around here.
Very similar.
One
Caper
enemy
actually has
remaining.
ult, though, so she can actually hold off the spike defuse.
Yes.
So that actually wraps up the round for RTS once again. It was RTS's round, actually. It was their round from the start, because there was no way you can actually defuse the spike anymore, seeing how Caperdite was actually backed in the corner with Hunter's Fury on standby. There was no way for them to defuse, let's say that. So that round actually has to go to RTS there.
They had that on lockdown. They were watching every angle. No one could sneak past that.
Let us hunt.
I'm surprised there's no Killjoy. No, there's
Right
not
here.
a Killjoy pick on this map, though. I mean, it's a large
Revealing
map,
area.
I'd say that.
Actually, you're right. I've not seen very much Killjoy plays on this map. Sova is a great player on this map.
Enemy tag.
It is much more versatile for a solo player to be Caperdite making full use of that solo drones, scouting the area, There's
Seems like
a
they
red light.
A.
Gonna make it back to B there. Members of governors have already caught on, and
Great play by
governor
Naki.
punishes envious there.
Now
Gonna be a
1v1
little
with
right
both
there.
Vipers.
But he actually gets punished, overwhelmed by 3 people here, trying to get the spike down as possible. But Crossy, the doppelganger,
You
all
will
there,
not
a
kill my
revive
Revealing
ally.
area.
away, but they're trying to avoid that. Trying to avoid having Kohaibi alive again. Spike's already down, unfortunately for Moshi's. She actually gets traded for stab. Having Spike's down.
Popping off with that Viper split. Let's see if that plays in their favor.
She's popping off right there. Yeah, Kohaibi
Last
right out.
player
Right
standing.
thing to play for. Oh, that's Kohaibi there.
Kohaibi did brutal on that round. It was difficult for them once she was res.
Yeah, that was a solid move. Solid move from Mochi. He knew that revving Kohaibi was the right call there, and actually it was. It was the right call
Really
for them.
was, yes.
Oh.
Aphrodite right now with 20 kills and 8 assists, and Crossy with 18 and 3 assists. But it seems like Governess is back to saving and taking half shields.
There.
Half shields, huh? Half shields this time.
There.
Not looking very good. Their economy is
Still inside.
not gonna have guns for
Pardon
the
their
round. RTS is just going strong. They're trying to wrap up this game as soon as possible. Trying to cut off.
One enemy remaining.
Sight to A secure, and actually it looks that's it for RTS. Solid play. Flawless there. I mean, they just stomped into sight,
Match
cut
point.
off angles, and made sure Governors didn't stand a chance that round. Wow, they're trying to wrap things up pretty seriously, pretty quickly, efficiently, and ethically, you know?
Agreed.
It's back to back. How's the tactic this time? I've seen them doing tactics. It's gonna be A for one round. The minute the round ends, it's gonna be B the other. You know, it's gonna be A to B, A to B, A to B. But this time it's
They've
gonna be
also
a split
been
for the
very
last round.
well with falling back. They know when they cannot win, they fall back and go to the other side, which is quite a great play.
Healing.
I agree. I agree. Test the waters, you know? They're testing the waters. Blue City
Yes, they are.
pushing a bit out of team
Here.
there to try to spot Majesty out there. But she's gonna get backed up by Kohai right away. Members of RTS, they're trying to move up to B now. It's not a green light, but they're trying to test the waters
Here.
once again.
The hunt begins.
There's the Empress.
I have this fight.
Wall ring, if they can just get this 1 point. Oh, they already broke the wall of safe, but that doesn't matter. As she's still back.
Oh, written that plan for that.
I've been
Written
seeing
that
the
for all
pattern
that.
here. Yeah, I'm seeing the pattern here as Mochi's been sacrificing herself quite a lot to be able to plan.
Yes, I agree, but
But I'm not
One
saying that
enemy
it's not
remaining.
working. Yes, it's still working.
it's still working. Governors
Last
takes the
player
play around
standing.
there.
To
Gonna
Renatus
be
and let
Kohai.
And Kohai beats the
Attackers win.
That was a quick round. That was a quick round, I'd say that. It was a quick round, yes.
It was a quick round, I will say.
Yes, and at first it was Renatus going back to black. They were both dealing blows. It was consecutive blows by both teams. There was not much of a power gap in the beginning, but starting from when Renatus was going to be on the attacking side, they became more aggressive. Say aggressive. They stomped through side, like it's no one's care, you know. They blocked off angles effectively, used utilities very effectively as well. They're trying to make things prosper a bit, you know, in their plays.
It was quite shocking actually, as during the mid rounds, it seemed like they were evenly matched, but it seems like they just easily took over with that.
Yes, I agree. Easily took over with that, and oh, surprisingly, it came up close. It was actually close in the mid stages of the round, but after that, it was just RTS. It was just RTS, you know. Kferdite actually did a huge number on Governors during the mid rounds, and it was Kohaibi taking over after that. After that rest, she started pop off like crazy. And Governor's side, on the defending side of things, they were actually doing pretty well as well. But on the attacking side of things, they actually the strat was there. I could see the strategy. The strategy was alive. They made use of their utilities as well. They forced into sight and all that. But when it was time for the second half of the round, I think momentum is kind of switched up. Synergy's lost a bit. The progress is a bit decayed, and
Yeah.
it was RTS from there on. It was 7-11 and all the way through there, 7-11, 7-12. Now it's gonna be 13-7. And it was good. It was solid. It was solid. Very solid first round.
Yes. So I'm watching so looking at the scoreboard, of course, Kefredite and Crossy are on top. Kefredite with 21 kills, Crossy with 19 kills. Now looking on the other scores, looking on the other plays, they will not be underlooked at because they actually had quite great plays as Joey really knew how to play with her Sova drone and Naki really did have those lineups, which was quite amazing actually. And Kohaibi really came up when it mattered the most.
Yeah, I guess so too. They always left Viper to lurk around, Naki. It was just Naki and Majesty, them, the Vipers. They were lurkers. I'd say that. It came up the toxic screens though. I see the placements were really good. They actually made full use of the toxic screen and the poison cloud in very severe situations like plantings and stuff. But that snake bite, I gotta say that snake bite though, I think they did a bit of studying the lineups there, trying to prevent plants. The snake bite is actually a pain to deal with if you're trying to plant the spike in
'Cause
like
you
very
can't
tight
really do
positions.
any with them, yeah.
Yes. What was that? You have RTX. No, not RTX. RTS. I'm sorry. Renatus. They're always having their Sage planting the spike. It was actually unfortunate because I see a lot of plays actually potentials were lost because they trade
They
Sage for the
sacrificed,
spike.
yes.
Yes.
Because Sage could have healed them, she could have had the revives, but unfortunately, it was sacrificed to plant.
But hey, it was a sufficient tactic. It was
It
feasible. At
was.
least it didn't cost them the round. I'd say it was a bold play. It was a
Yes.
bold play. It was ballsy, but the results are there. You can't say much when the results are there. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a little bit of break between, and we're gonna come back in a bit. It's 3:16, I guess. Yeah, 3:16. We're gonna come back at 3:16, and it's gonna start pretty soon for round two. So first round, as folks have already seen it, it's gonna be RTS Renatus's game, but we can see how. Let's see how second round's gonna fare out though, because I feel like this is not the end of Governors. They're gonna come back soon. They're gonna hit hard as well.
They just need to recollect themselves. At least they know how the other team will play, and maybe this will help them quite a lot.
You're right, Kay. That's right. That's right. I agree 100% because that's not the full potential. I can feel there is untapped potential right in that round because Governors, they were actually fierce, but halfway through the line, they kind of decayed a bit. I'm expecting more actually. But they did pop my eyes though. Lucidity with the Spectre and the Blade Storm as Jet. He was making plays actually, securing um, the maps, securing the sites, making sure objectives can be like planted, objectives can be taken down, and overall he's just slicing up the territory for her teammates to make full use of the situation.
Yes.
So I guess it's gonna be starting pretty soon, but yeah, I'll say pre-congratulations. Is it early congratulations like for securing the first round there, the first match, yes, for RTS, but don't get too worked up yet because it's not the end of the Governors. I feel like they can make a comeback in this round.
Baby, I swear I need you the most, yeah. Without you, will I go down, yeah.
I mean, time's actually already up though, so any minute now we're gonna start with match 2. From how we see things, I guess it's gonna be Ascent this time. I'm not entirely sure, but it's gonna be a little slight break for a bit, and try to play around and stuff. It's gonna start soon. I feel like it's gonna start soon. Bit of technical adjustments here and there. The teams are still trying to work out. Yeah.
They have to get ready. Some of them still have to join into the game and fix up their teams and such.
Exactly. And but like Renatus. K for Diet, she did really well. I'd say that she was the spotlight. She was the spotlight of that round. I'd say. Halfway through the line, it was what was that? Kohibi, yes, that's Reina. It's Kohibi. She did pretty well as well at the later stages of the game. Actually bagged them the victory for that final round there. It actually could have gone to Governors, but quick on her feet, she secured the round. And
well, Hybe, like, she stepped up her game when it mattered the most.
Yes, when it mattered the most. Exactly.
When it came to crucial moments, she would pop off with the easy 4Ks and 3Ks, which was very interesting and very, how do I say this, very great plays.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I feel, that part where you don't have to get serious until you need to, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You don't have to get serious until you need to. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying you should get serious though. Like, stay serious throughout the whole match because this is not the end. This is already one blow to Governors because they're 0-1 now, and RTS is 1 on the block. But they actually gotta make some pivotal changes here. Like, seeing how the map, I kind of speculated it's gonna be Ascent. It's a very comfortable pick, I feel, for both teams, and seeing it's Ascent, Sentinel wise, I talked about having Killjoy back there. I feel like there's gonna be a Killjoy because it's actually a very niche pick, right? Not a niche pick, but a very viable pick, a very good pick for Ascent maps such as Ascent, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree actually with all of this. Especially right now here, any minute now the game will be starting, but I am very excited to see how this plays because if RDS manages to continue with this play and perhaps keep winning or win another one this round, this game will go to them.
Yes, I feel so. Second victory, if they manage to bag the second victory, it's gonna be their win, But I don't think they're gonna give that spot easily to RTS, Governor side of things. They're just trying to make sure it's gonna be hard for them to secure second point. They want this point themselves. They're thirsty, not thirsty, hungry for that second point. They're getting ready though. They're taking it seriously, and I think the match is gonna start pretty soon. But in the meantime, it's all just statistics. There's much more technical stuff going on here, so it's gonna be in this range for a bit. Still sorting things out. And we're starting right away. And
here we are.
I was right. It was speculated. Ascent, a comfort pick for both teams. A comfortable pick, really comfortable pick. I like Ascent, don't you? Ascent's actually. It's not
one
large.
of my favorite maps. Yes, it's one
not
of the
small.
original maps as well.
Yeah, the OG maps. One of the 4 OG maps. I like this map a lot, really. It's comfortable. It's not large. It's not small. It's just right, It's just right. So looking at character picks, agent picks. What do we have here? Okay, take it away.
So it seems here that Renatus have already, pretty much almost all of them already taken picked their pool of agents as there's Jet, Kefredite, of course, with her Sova. Mochi with Astra and KJ Majesty and Kohaibi with Raze. For this game, actually, it's not very quite similar because in Icebox they had almost the exact same agents, but for this one it's completely different. The only similarity would be Astra.
Choose your agent.
Yes, so as well. Astra is actually very flexible. It's a very compact, a very nice pick for this kind of map because her smokes are actually very volatile, not volatile, very efficient if used correctly. Acts as a trap and all that. She's actually a sentinel if you could like, that's my opinion. If you take Astra, you look at her as a whole package, she's actually a sentinel in my opinion.
She is.
Yeah, you know, right? Yeah.
A lot of
KJ.
A lot
Talk
of
about
poker.
KJ. There is a KJ. I see Majesty. There's KJ there. I feel like you can't miss out on Cypher or KJ on this kind of map because they have a lot of control over these kind of situations, you know, like harsh situations, trap wires, and alarm bots really come into play. So starting off with things, you have RTS on the attacking side of things.
Here.
Controller, initiator, and a sentinel. Very steady, stable composition. It speaks the same for governors as well. They have a Phoenix though. I want to see how Phoenix fares in this map though. Controlling most of B, lobby B main, and more towards the yard there. Trying to deny them the access into B. Trying to forcibly run into B already.
First picks perhaps on mid. Oh, unfortunately, Kefredite managed to get out. Kohaibi taking the first picks, and it's now a 3-5.
Really strong on RTS once again. Beating out Naki and Gang. Just up to spawn there.
Spike planted.
Trying to catch them off guard. That's it. Both ghosts though, so one tap though. One tap.
Revealing area.
Quite a dangerous play here for Crossy if she doesn't.
One enemy
corners,
remaining.
And there. And first win goes to Renatus. White.
White bags the first victory after all, huh? It has the same. It has the exact same pattern since last round. I feel like they come up strongly, but then governors will try to like hit back a bit, you know.
Gun here. Take flight. Enemy mark.
Seems like we lost light connection
Spike
with
drop.
Mao here. But so it seems that Majesty here is playing quite well here, and it's already a 3v3 with Astra not having enough health.
Spike planted. Right there.
Lucidity trying to blast it, trying to get the pick. Unfortunately, it was a rough play.
One enemy remaining.
Right there.
Last player
Well sent back,
standing.
Mao.
I'm sorry, I had a bit of technical difficulties back at home actually.
That's alright. That was alright. It was quite a rough play here actually. Very quick close encounter, but Kefredite clutched that round and defended the
I
spike.
have money. Right here. Deploying drone.
So it seems like they'll be pushing here with mid, And Kfredite trying to keep pushing here through mid, but slowly playing with smokes as well. Once again, a tight game, and seems like we have lost connections with Mao once again. Vicinity with a great plays, managing to cancel
Spike down,
Raze's
B.
ultimate
One enemy
and
remaining.
defending side once again. And Vicinity seems to be the player for this game. Governess finally securing that first point, and Renatus with 2 points. So this game could go to anyone, but it seems once again Crossy top fragging for Governess and Kfredite top fragging for Renatus White. But let's not forget Lucidity here only behind with 1 point, and Kohaibi also only behind with no point. So tough game, tight game. Trying to play it slow here. Lucidity unfortunately not very successful with that flank, as KJ did have their turn set up. Crossy hopefully able to hold down this side as they're already being pushed in, and they know. Envious taking out Crossy. Joey taking out Mikey, and Envious just happened to be right behind Joey right there. Great place by the way.
One enemy remaining.
And it's now a 2v1. Will Lucidity manage to clutch this? Unfortunately, Kohaibi takes out Lucidity. Great place by both teams, but it seems that Renatus managed to lock down 3 points. Kohaibi with a strong push once again. Still pushing, making sure to pre-fire all the angles, and Lucidity is the only one that's holding down the side. Unfortunately, it was not a great play, as it was a gun diff moment.
Last player standing.
Quite
Spike
obvious
planted.
that this game will be going to Renatus once again, and another win by Renatus.
Wow, I think
Leading
I've missed
now
a lot
with
of
3
action,
points.
huh?
Seems like
Solid
it.
play.
Seems like it. It was a solid play, quite difficult, but they managed somehow, and now Renatus is leading.
Apologies though, a bit of technical difficulties back in where I live, but anyways, we're back on track. Let's see how things are faring right away. Both teams having full buys and not lacking in economy, and it's RTS's win that previous
that's
round.
because previously Governess hard saved that round. It only had pistols, which is why they weren't able to win the previous round.
Blocking sight.
It was
I
a
see.
very big gun diff on that moment.
There's Lucidity. Lucidity actually catches one, but late on that. Okay, actually takes another pick on Lucidity there, making a move towards catwalk, trying to get into A tree there. It's just Kohaibi alone though,
Spike down A.
and it will be Kfredite and Kohaibi soloing it, trying to come it out a bit. It's gonna be 2v3. But
One
it's
enemy
not gonna be a
remaining.
problem there for Steph. It's only 1v3 now. It's gonna be hard for them. There's a nice solid shot there. It directly throws the paint shells right away, but gets countered by Joey there.
Great
little-
play by Joey.
A little show of the head right there, and she gets popped out right away instantly, you know?
It was a great watch of the angle, I must say.
I must say, yeah, it is.
Governess can still take this back. It's only a 2-point gap. It's only a 2-point gap. Joey
only a
seems
2-point
like
gap.
to have Seems to have the great place by Cypher Place right there set up and everything. So this will be an interesting play if they decide to push B.
I see. They're all split up all around the map. You have them moving into courtyard, and then B lobby, A lobby as well. Spike's actually around the A lobby. Between bit, but most likely gonna be A this time. I feel like it because most members of Governor is actually cooped up in B here, but I'm starting to see a pattern.
Just
A
swag.
little bit of control from MochiX, and he's already taking down the first pick. A little green light signifying A is actually safe to enter.
They have been pushing from tree a lot, so could be the reason why they're watching tree quite tightly, especially by Steph. Kohaibi trying to play with that smoke. And
Trees is actually a
Kohaibi,
very
great play right there.
Spike
crucial part of the map to
Last
control.
player
See,
standing.
dip low, but doesn't actually get the one tap and runs out of ammo for Joey to clean up.
Yikes. Kohaibi watching that, and he gets that, she gets that kill. Great play right there by Kohaibi. Kohaibi really seems to be showing her gameplay for this game actually.
I feel so as well.
Here.
You mentioned about trees being very important. I'd say trees especially because once you have RTS running down and mid cubby and trees is kind of all over
Need a
because
drop.
they're just gonna advance from there and go to garden and window and try to control those small choke points there, securing site, just cutting off site all at once, you know. And it's looking pretty
Without
well
a
for
stop,
RTS.
obscuring vision.
Pretty grim. You can't say the same for. And trying to pick up the pace here. Kohaibi once again to mid cubby here. The boom bot doesn't actually get any info from Boombot there.
Remove.
Pizza. Back catching up a bit. They're just trying to do a hard advance into B site.
Kohaibi
down,
playing
mid.
with that, and great kill right there with her ult. Now it's 3-2.
Got one.
Kohaibi's really
Solid.
playing with her place right here.
One enemy
Right in
remaining.
the middle though. RTS has a little bit of control
Blasting it.
here, but there's the concussion.
Oof, if they peek her right
Enemy
now,
remaining.
unfortunate. Great
They're
place by
both low on
Naki.
health though. They're both
But
both
Naki's
low on health.
significantly lower. One bullet can easily take her out.
Same for. Save it the
I
same
need
for
pulling
Envy as
them
well.
in.
Planted.
This one bullet, a Vandal, will work plenty for take it back, and then Ambient catch first. So the max is 2-6 already. It's 2-6. RTS as attacking side, I feel like they're doing pretty solid, very solid as attackers. Defending side of things in Governor's
There.
point, I feel like they can do much better here because the mid
They left
control
their light.
is slightly lacking a bit. They're losing mid a lot, I'll say.
It seems like they have decided to leave Spike this time. Side. So not quite sure with the plays here, but if they keep going, let's just see how it goes.
Curious
They're
to see how it goes.
pushing A and mid this time. The usual plays, trying to take over tree as usual.
Oh, very
Lucky
solid
sight.
from Envious, taking 2 down at once to make sure the site is safe, and they're already moving into A. Smoke, getting off that angle, stuff like that. Most members of RTS are already making into site. They're all there. Spike's already going down as the minute we're saying this.
One enemy remaining.
There's
Once
only one
again,
member left.
Governess were forced to save on this round, so it was
That's
quite
all.
a sketchy play for them. Oop, Joey still managing to get 1 kill though. Not going down without a fight, I must say.
Yeah, exact location of Joey already. Trying to corner him into, make him into a cornered rat. But I don't think he'll go down that easily. There's the tailwind, and they all just gang up and overwhelm him right away. It's another win
All
for
angles.
RTS.
Taken out in 3 different angles.
Solid, that was solid. Good play. And it's a lot of duelist's work. I see You have Envious and Kohibi making a lot of hard entries, very hard entries. And at this point, I really don't know what to say about Governors because they're losing mid a lot, but they're not lacking. They just gotta up their game a bit because the defenses could be better, really.
Governess has to catch up on this because the gap is growing, I must say.
The gap is growing.
And they're not very secure on money as well.
There's the lockdown. They're trying to take this side by force. Forcing other members of Governors to back off for a bit. You have Seth is moving up into Haven. I think they're caught on already. On Dart. Most angles are covered up nicely. Utilities well placed. Very strategically placed. Envious.
Spike planted.
Knows someone's there. Gets one, but gets straightened by Steph right away. Joey making his own way into side as well. Trying to scout for a little plan as well. Let's 3-2.
Last
Gets caught up by Maiden.
ace.
And it's a team ace.
Everybody gets a kill from that then.
With this, at this point, either Governess has to strengthen their defense or become better at retake. Because Renatus is not backing down, they will rush and they will push hard.
It's a steady pace. I'll say it's a steady pace. You have RTS. They're doing pretty solid. It's just consecutive wins up until this point. Leading by 6 points. It's gonna be pretty hard for them to come back a bit for Governors. I mean, it's gonna be hard for them to come back a bit, but not entirely hard. They can still make it happen, but just need some team synergy to like
You are
double up a
divided.
bit. There's the Cosmic Divide. It's a red light for Governors.
Spike planted.
Spike's already down. What a very smart move there. It's a shrewd placement. It's a shrewd placement, I'd say. And you have Naki just countering.
Trying to lock on trees, by the way, and be able to flank some of them.
And that was actually a nice counter, I'd say.
Wow.
Last round
did you
before
see
the
that?
switch.
I saw you have
I did not see
Mochi
that.
X just
Wow.
coming up with her Cosmic Divide at once. It was a shrewd placement. Again, a shrewd placement, but Naki just countering that Cosmic Divide with her own, you know? Kind of covered up the whole entry there, and it's a free diffuse for Governors. That's actually, I can't say both sides are shrewd, but I'll say they took advantage of that situation. Circumstances were actually pretty good.
Get out of my way! Concealment!
Point. The hot hands on the side of the entry, not to make them advance any further. Use a little
Blocking
sound.
vision!
A lot of
Concussing him.
sounds actually.
Rossi's trying
It's confident in
to
B.
Yes. It seems they seem to be able to push B as well.
Oh, hold up. Lucidity seems to have lost connection.
Ooh, unfortunate right here.
There seems to be someone who is lost connection. It's gonna be hard for RTS Governors a bit.
It would be difficult as that is an entry fragger.
Right
And
there!
without blinds, it would be a difficult play.
So this is a very major difficulty, and it's actually working very well for Governors. And as we're speaking,
One enemy remaining.
they can only do so much with Steph, the only person alive at this point. Low health as well, but bad timing.
Unfortunate time to pull out the heals.
I didn't understand.
Switching
I think
sides.
we need to call for a timeout for a bit because Lucidity actually lost connection. We need to wait for Lucidity to
No, it seems like Lucidity is back.
back again.
I should
What
probably
happened
place some
actually?
stars in the astral plane.
Not
Should do.
quite sure. Not quite sure, really.
I guess so. That was unfortunate though.
No, it seems that Lucidity is back in the game, but she's not moving.
Oh, I see. What seems to be the problem, dude? Not really sure myself, but I guess she'll come back sooner or later. I guess so.
Yes, seems like it.
It's gonna be a pause for a bit. Well, it's pausing for a bit, waiting for Lucidity to come back. We have the crew asking about the condition of Lucidity as of now, and I was actually on screen on Lucidity's screen just then, and I noticed she wasn't doing much. I think her
Ah,
crash internet. Yeah, that was the exact same
internet crash.
circumstance I had. You know, just now I was like DC'd for a bit.
Yes,
My
this
internet
should do.
crashed as well. I can actually, I don't know,
Can relate.
sympathize with her.
Yes. Quite unfortunate, so that's one of the downsides of the gaming community. Once the internet's down, the internet's down.
15 minutes, we give 15 minutes technical pause, so it's gonna be 15 minutes technical pause. In the meantime, we'll just stay around, stick around, and talk it out, you know, 15 minutes, waiting for her to reboot her router or something like that, internet-ish things.
Well, and this is the second half anyway, so it's a great time to take a pause anyway.
Yes.
So looking on the scoreboard, on tab, seems like this is really Kohaibi's map. Actually, she's been popping off, leading with 18 kills already.
She's done marvelous, I guess. Kohaibi
Yes.
done marvelous, yes. And it's not actually lacking for two sides. I mean, governors. They're actually doing pretty solid in defending side because this is just the start of the second half. They're starting to come and come for attacking. We don't really know how they attack on Ascent yet, but seeing how this is a comfort pick for both sides, I feel like they have a plausible tactic for them to take. And looks like Lucidity's back online, and I think we can start right away as soon as both teams are ready.
Yep, both teams seems to be ready.
All right, a mixed match commenced once again.
They've started setting down their setups with Astra here.
So these proper utility placement is key to victory, I'd say.
But once again, if you put it too early, it could give away your plans and
Well,
your play.
It is what it is, I'd say. More members here already cooping up at B side. Governors are cooping up B side. They're just leaving out Joey here to lurk around A. Is potentially picking one or two if it's workable.
Either she manages to take a pick, or she manages, on the brighter side, if she manages to juke them into thinking that they were pushing A, to hopefully get another one from B to rotate to A.
It seems like match timer is back on track. It's going to be 37, 36, 35 seconds on the countdown. The clock running down. We're talking about them just starting to get ready. Same tactic. Their tactic is going to be leaving a sentinel behind for lurking, huh? Joey's there, prepping the cams and all that. Have a bit of control on early side of A lobby, and the other members just grouping up at B. See if they can make a push in, and hopefully have Joey just catch up on the tail at the later moments of the game.
Seems like it, as well as 2 seconds left, and let's see how this place goes. So it seems more like Joey's just trying to hold down A main, and maybe, or perhaps will be pushing mid.
So as well, there's here GV doing a subtle approach, not so subtle there. Took the orb. You have Steph 1 point closer to having the resurrection. And
Joey
I
seeming
guess
to
there's a
do
lot
the
there.
tactic of pushing in tree, since it worked quite well previously for the other team.
See so as well, but they're just it's kind of a stale for a bit, and there's one pick already from
Right there.
Kferdite. But health-wise, it's not looking pretty well for the others on RTS as well. They're just trying to hold them down as long as possible and wait for Joey to make a move out on mid. There's
Great
a
play
third
by
pick.
Nasty right there.
This is 3-3 now. It's even here. You gotta wait, give a signal for Joey to move forward, advance into B side, and they're trying to make an advance. There's the wall there. They're moving in.
They don't exactly
30
have
seconds left.
much time.
Off coming
They
back.
can just take that plant down.
Spike planted.
Exactly. Well, actually, one help on both sides, but there's the friendly.
Last
Pulls
player
down.
standing.
Of course, oh, sad to Hyvee. Very
Once
fluid
again,
with the gun.
Koibi taking the spotlight.
Fluid with the gun clears up the rest of team.
Oh, no, you don't deserve
This is a very, very big gap here, I can tell. As it's already
a big gap.
3 to 10, it is quite a gap, honestly.
Yes, it is. How did things come to this though, actually? But it's never too late, I'd say. Never too late.
But it will be a desperate attempt to close that gap once again. But it's never too late
Chances
indeed.
of them to catch up quickly is very non-existent, I'll say. But it's not entirely.
I'm going
non-existent.
above.
There's still a chance if they push hard enough.
Up I go.
There's still a chance that they push hard enough.
Without a star, I cannot.
Scanning ahead.
Going on. There's a bit of mid control going on, courtyard control. The rest. Members of both sides just splitting up a bit.
Great play by Envious there, managing
Concealment.
to get Crossy very low on health with that.
Governors are just all over the map. Mid Pizza trying to force their presence more into Pizza now. You have Envious unaware. He's actually pushing B main there, and not really aware of where the plans are. It seems like plans have shifted a bit, and Steph carrying the spike is heading to B. Hopefully paths will cross between Envious and Steph right at the moment at B main. A lot of noise has been made. And
Hopefully Steph can
Right.
manage to kill someone.
Envious soloing here. Making good use of the spectre.
Spike down B.
Right there.
One enemy remaining.
A great play by Koibi once again. And another point for Renatus White.
Very close counters. They catch up very quickly on what they need to do. They splice up corners very quickly as well. It's about map control at this point, you know. They're controlling the map pretty well. I feel like this was the pick from Renatus. They're doing very solid, very stable. Their momentum is there. It's been consecutive wins all throughout, starting since the 4th round. And pace-wise, I'd say they're not lacking in the slightest.
Once again, Governess forced saving into half
Spike
shields
down, B.
nonetheless.
The duelist is picking off 2 members of Governors right away, leaving them with 3, and it's not looking very well for them already down.
One enemy
And yes,
remaining.
a
This
third.
is now a 1v5. Managing to get at least 1 kill there. Not going down without a fight, but nonetheless shut down by K for Diet right there.
Match point.
Looks like it's gonna be match point already, and it's actually a pretty fast match, I'd say. It's all RTX. Pardon me.
RTS. Been thinking too much about those non-existent GPUs for sale, huh?
I need those actually.
Seems like it.
I'm actually looking forward to having an RTX, you know. But
Checking the situation.
let's see how this match is gonna fare out. It's the match point for RTS Renatus already. And yeah, Envious is pulling out the Blaze Bomb, going haywire down in mid, looking for more kills. Single picks.
She's quite low though. She is very, very low on health. Hopefully
can
making
make
her
it.
way to get healed.
There.
Yes, but there's not
But they
exactly
don't really have a healer.
Yeah. Still 4. Going pretty ballsy there. Very confident. Maybe with her own pick now. It's only 3 to 5, and it's looking very, very grim for Governors.
Envious is just trying to look for kills at this point.
At this point, I feel like
She's
members
just
of Governors
hungry
have
for the
already
pick.
lost a bit of confidence there, lost a bit of hope, but still clinging on a bit. They're still clinging on.
They're not gonna go down without a fight, I must say.
Yes, it can still clutch this round some way or another. You just have to make sure or hope that Renatus will make a mistake or two. Actually make them fight back a bit, serve some points
They
back to
might
the board.
meet up with Envious as she is rushing right behind them from spawn.
30 seconds left.
Quality and stuff. They don't exactly have the best guns, but oh no!
Not kill my ally.
Spike down A.
Or trying to make They're trying to make things work here.
One enemy
They're
remaining.
not going down without a fight, but the fight's already over.
Another peek. Envious already there, and last
Fine.
kill taken.
Defenders win.
Great game, Envious and Zohai. Play right here.
Oh my god. Well, I did mention though, I kind of had my cards flipped on Envy because I kind of felt like they would bag the game, you know, in some way.
Yes, yes.
They like let's recap back on what happened just now. I feel
It was a much
steady.
faster paced game compared to the game in Icebox, honestly.
Yes, it was very paced. I'd say starting from round 4 onwards, it was just RTS all the way. Really, I feel like not much could be done. A lot could be done, but it wasn't executed properly. Yes. And
RTS is very strong when it comes to pushing because they really know how to push their attackers, and they're also quite great when it came to defending. That's what I see with what happened with Governess. They were struggling to defend quite a lot.
yes, exactly. I mean, they bagged the second round already. Means one step closer to the winners. You know, one step closer to winning this entire event. And it was a good effort by Governors. I'll say that I'll give you an applause, mental applause. They did great. They held off their own. They held off a lot of things, but one particular thing I'd like to highlight out is that during Ascent, they didn't have much mid control. I'll say that because it was RTS just forcing into sight. Even with Cypher, I guess, even with Cypher around, it wasn't enough. Because trap wires weren't strategically placed. I mean, the strategy is there, the utility is there, but not much effect was produced, you know? There was not much results from there. And they were actually smart around how they wanted to execute an entry from RTS. They did pretty well. I'd just say they were top notch.
And they were very strong when they were pushing from mid, since Cypher would always like put their setup on B, and if they push through mid, then it can't really be helped. And especially if they take down Cypher first, those tripwires and traps will have no effect or whatsoever against the other teams.
Yeah, exactly. If you really paid attention, I feel there was not much mid control. I mean, in the later stages of the game, there was mid control, but it was actually too late because the momentum for RTS is already to a cap already. It was already to a cap. So that was unfortunate, but it was a good effort nonetheless. Renatus white for moving up a bit, and it was a solid effort from Governors. Hopefully we'll see them again, you know? Do you have anything else to say about this? Like,
There's not much to say. I am stunned with the amazing plays. They all had great aim, which I could not counter whatsoever. And I loved how they would play, especially with the lineups. And they knew how to push together. That both teams did have great synergy right there, and they knew how to play with each other.
yes, I agree.
They had a designated lurker, they had a designated flanker, and I noticed by the end of the game, RTS was really just hunting for kills at that point, as they pretty much were confident that they would take the win home.
I feel like they were confident. They were really confident they could back that already, because later stages of the game it was just picking for kills and all that. And what else was there? I feel like Governors kind of lost spirit a bit halfway through the game. I mean, the presence, it wasn't there anymore. It was just a sheer force, a sheer overwhelming presence of RTS starting from round 4, because it was just consecutive wins all the way until 13. So yeah, recap back on agent selections though. I kind of saw this coming. I saw there was gonna be a Cypher, there's gonna be a Killjoy. It's a must pick lah. I feel like it's a must pick in maps like Ascent. A small a small map, not very small, but the ultimates, like
Easy
the
rotation.
lockdown and the neural theft, is very useful for these kind of situations where you need to have the entire map in your domain, you know?
And Ascent isn't really that different from Icebox really, as they both have 3 entrances, they both have mids and such. But yes, the game did go to RTS in the end.
Yes, it did go to RTS in the end, and it's plausible. But very nice plays. I saw a lot of solid plays. If we could recap, we could like rewind a bit of those plays there. They both had solid plays, I'd say. Governors, Naki especially, as Viper in Icebox back there, she was actually using a lot of utility at the right time, I'd say. But it wasn't sufficient to hold back pushes, you know?
Yes.
It was her on B side most of the time, and some support from Lucidity some time to time, but it just wasn't enough. That's where team synergy comes in. Team synergy, team composition. Composition is not that important, but if you want to compare that, I feel like you need to be 10 steps ahead of your enemy if you're talking about defense. You need to think like you need to think like the attackers. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so guess we're gonna wrap this up, and once again, I'd say congratulations to RTS Renatus White for moving up one step closer to being the victors of Battle for Supremacy tournament all-woman series. And for now, we're gonna take a short break for a bit, and we're gonna come back around 4:30 to witness another match, which I will disclose soon. And for now, I guess that's it. Once again, I'd like to give a shout out. If you haven't heard already, Teddo, once again, this tournament, this event was organized by Urban Madness E and Living Minds. It was sponsored by Teddo, a keycap company. I'd say gaming setup company. They specialize in
Check them out
keycaps.
once
and
again.
mouse.
Customize your gameplay to fit by your looks and your feel, and get more dubs.
Well, yeah, of course. Have your keyboard scream a bit of personality, you know. So, other than that, I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess we're gonna take a break for a bit. See you guys in a bit at around 4:30. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching a bit.
Goodbye. It was only one round. I am gonna take a break. I might actually just pass out for 3 minutes.
The plan written down in my head kalau tak jadi gua tak sah. And I know why, maybe a little needy tapi siapa kisah. I do not play dalam game, I'ma move like Jay. I got the code so it's all safe, I got the heart so it's all pace. Ooh, kalau dapat fame jangan tolak, but handle with care. Semua expect gua buat hit, tapi link tak nak share. I'ma remain eye contact, so you never stare. Bruv, you ain't on my level, ini scene gua budak devil. Got these bitches on the cross, prepared to crucify. Kerja dengan gua tak senang, when I spit that shit is salt. What I do as a living, yeah, people usually die. Kerja dengan gua tak senang, when I spit that shit is salt. Shit is salt. Shit is salt.
Oh boy.
Try to be honest,
not good at letting down my guard, but I really want it. Before you, I was running in the dark. When you said this was goodbye, that's when I realized I can't live without you. I want you and only you. I got nothing left to lose. So I'll keep waiting for you. It's the only thing that I can do to keep my composure. I need you closer. I want you and only you. Try to be honest, I'm not good at letting down my guard, but I really want it. Before you, I was running in the dark. When you said this was goodbye, that's when I realized I can't live without you. I want you and only you. I got nothing left to lose. So I'll keep waiting for you. It's the only thing that I can do to keep my composure. I need you closer. I want you and only you.
Run that shit up.
Sentence benar berserah. Belum kita check masalah. Okay, going in tak ada masalah. Straight to the stool dah masalah. But if they ain't fat then tak apalah. If you want it bad then sabarlah. Bahasa wala macam sabarlah. But if it ain't me then siapalah. Sentence benar berserah. Belum kita check masalah. Okay, going in tak ada masalah. Straight to the stool dah masalah. But if they ain't fat then tak apalah. If you want it bad then sabarlah. Bahasa wala macam sabarlah. But if it ain't me then siapalah. Sauce dripping, better take a look. Can I take it, bitch? I'm about to make it. Can I fake it? All this money falling, bitch, I gotta rake it. Pancing lu, takkan dapat. Siapa something lu, ada bakat lu. Pandai aja tapi tak ada arah. Siapa marah, mungkin aku asyik. Kasih keras tu cara aku. Baca kamus tu cara kamu. Satu-satu buat terus sapu. Sentence benar berserah. Belum kita check masalah. Okay, going in tak ada masalah. Straight to the stool dah masalah. But if they ain't fat then tak apalah. If you want it bad then sabarlah. Bahasa wala macam sabarlah. But if it ain't me then siapalah.
Switch it, don't talk about digit. No trap phone, just pitch it. New ideas, new mission, yeah. Man been blessed with a team, met privilege. Top bins, couple assists, Jack Grealish. Never too big for the boot, mine's polished. Rappers not pose a threat, but jaga image. What you thinking? Not music, Tarzi, Kasi Beacon. Light them up, it was written. Rip to the lines, fuck you even. Honest raps, not missing prison. Reach behind bars, fuck the system. Two eyes open, I'm still dreaming. Hot summer with cold rhythm. What other raps, bedridden. Tak kalah, tersalah, berserah, hey.
Belum kita check masalah. Okay, going in tak ada masalah. Straight to the stool dah masalah. But if they ain't fat then tak apalah. If you want it bad then sabarlah. Bahasa wala macam sabarlah. But if it ain't me then siapalah.
Nak awak menyerah, awak pasal balik. Awak datang ambil, merampas sambil. Dan jangan nangis, 16 baris tak kena panggil. Lyrical jahil lah. Bukan OG tu yang hebat. Dan masanya sudah tiba. Pendengarkan MC yang paling gila. Kalau nak berundur sela. Dulu siapa yang lidah hangat tahi ayam. Memang kali masam tapi lani tanam. Menari semalam masih lari sekarang. Dah makan sumpah sebawa sering mencarut. Dalam track melalui sinis. Habis terbalik semua bila baris itu gua flip bitch. Tak sangka killer drinks dengan sabarlah. Bila in tak nak bahaya sering serasi dengan bahasa.
Tak sebenar berserah. Lu kita check masalah. Okay going in tak ada masalah. Straight to the stool dah masalah. But if they fat then tak apalah. If you want it bad then sabarlah. Boss dah wala macam sabarlah. But if it ain't me then siapalah. So tak sebenar berserah. Lu kita check masalah. Okay going in tak ada masalah. Straight to the stool dah masalah. But if they fat then tak apalah. If you want it bad then sabarlah. Boss dah wala macam sabarlah. But if it ain't me then siapalah.
Aku cuma perlukan sinar terik kamu lah teduhan. Tak tipu kadang rasa tak mau teruskan. Kadang sampai fikir bikin bukan. Aku juga rasa begitu kelirukan. Perlukan teman tiap kali turun hujan. Tapi bila masa kita bertemu hari, ku jadi lebih baik berwarna macam pelangi. Yeah. Buang kisah kamu, lupa kisah lalu. Have a good day my dear. And now let me tell you how I feel every time you hear. Bila kau hadir seperti pelangi, seakan muncul semua benda yang ku cari. Bila kau hadir senyapkan sepi, lenyap semua hal bila kita menari. Buang semua ragu, yeah. Atau terus tunggu yang engkau tunggu. Nyanyilah lagu, yeah. Panggil aku anytime, boleh hello kalau perlu. Mungkin kita perlukan kebebasan, hidup ikut cara aku, tak nak dengar arahan. Sebab tak ada siapa yang faham perasaanku tanam. Biarkanlah harapanku tenggelam dalam-dalam. Tak payah bimbang, walau hidup tengah tak seimbang. Masalah tak boleh bilang, harap esok boleh hilang. Senyuman makin layu, ada aku untuk siram. Selagi ada nafas sambil masa cuba tenang. Yeah, kenapa dunia harus begini? Kenapa aku yang kau pilih? Mana jalan harus ku pergi? Takutnya tiada seperti sisi. Janji yang kau takkan pergi. Ada hari bila ku sakit, ataupun hari yang tak beringgit. Apa kita ada lebih dari duit? Bila kau hadir seperti pelangi, seakan muncul semua benda yang ku cari. Bila kau hadir senyapkan sepi, lenyap semua hal bila kita menari. Buang semua ragu, yeah. Atau terus tunggu yang engkau tunggu. Nyanyilah lagu, yeah. Panggil aku anytime, boleh hello kalau perlu.
Ooh, I'm a broken soul. Forget the past, let me grow. Watch me turn to a god like. Ooh, I'm a broken soul. Don't you ask anymore, I no longer to be sold like. Ooh, I'm a broken soul. Forget the past, let me grow. Watch me turn to a god like. Aku dah pernah tahan asyik melayan sampai dah bosan dengan semua alasan yang engkau beri. Sampai hati perhatian kau semua tolak tepi. Pisang takkan bubuh dua kali, takkan aku petik sekali lagi. Walau kau penuh dengan antipati, takkan aku kupas biarkan ku pergi. Ya, tak payah ulang lagi, mungkin salah aku. Berat hati tak tertanggung, tak mampu diangkat tangan aku. Biar aku nampak lemah, asalkan cara berhemah. Dalam hati cuba kekal tabah, walau badai sudah rebah. Waktu tak izinkan kita untuk bersama. Terima kasih pernah anggap aku sebagai pemata. Ya, kenangan dulu penuh bermakna, sekarang bahasa bertukar jadi sesara. Aku tak sanggup nak kawal hati, biar aku tenang ditembak pelali. Ooh, I'm a broken soul. Forget the past, let me grow. Watch me turn to a god like. Ooh, I'm a broken soul. Don't you ask anymore, I no longer to be sold like. Ooh, broken soul. Forget the past, let me grow. Watch me turn into a godlike.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
不是没有钱赚，怕赚了没有脸算，越来越没有眼看自己。曾经祝愿放在天上，想象放在脸上，结果自己做到自己。没有人走的路，我会找到有的钱可以再赚点，丢了就没有了。付出的多，活得少，比别人更加幸福。为了不值钱的原则，往的 top 走一步算一步。Make sure 自己嘴巴鼻子一样干净，不去吸毒。Talking about the scene and the culture。Fuck 个毛不会再说 me too You are see through 笼中吃玻璃长大什么货币做狼不信 Trust no one 如果真的要我将心比心早就已经对接下的人过敏 It's a fact keeping one heart 能一定做到够顶 Whole lot of cream 若地方不烂大现在起 cream 以前甘愿为了自己挤那去死 Now I got more to lose 有事做做意思过爱变落骨到底还要等到几时 IC 上面才能有我自己买的地址不是没有钱赚怕赚了没有脸算越来越没有眼看自己曾经祝愿放在天上笑笑放在脸上结果自己做到自己没有人走的路我会走到有的钱可以再赚点丢了就没有了不是没有钱赚怕赚了没有脸算越来越没有眼看自己曾经祝愿放在天上笑笑放在脸上结果自己做到自己没有人走的路我会走到有的钱可以再赚点丢了就没有了 Never sleep up 因为惊歹命如果没有跌过路要安怎知听一直 keep up 就算是条路卡歹行自己吃的苦我靠人不可能会知影无轻松没有好彩命但比无得惊福建人比你爱拼过爱赢用水清零上 get my food up 临别不做 shortcut share get paid 慢慢涨价没有很多 fame 说买劲了 we gon' pull up 过得穷活得贵为了自己所搞的物件弟弟付出说不出 too much we don't talk much right 自己的 way 他们出脆柔情的出了爸爸讲话出去弄表弄个头听了乖乖对出头家嘛是自己讲囝想讲自己赚的买杂饭比别人好吃讲甲无好听不可能做不就可能无够good了 I'ma be the one 我的笑脸只能输个不是没有钱赚怕赚了没有脸算越来越没有眼看自己曾经祝愿放在天上笑笑放在脸上结果自己做到自己没有人走的路我会走到有的钱可以再赚点丢了就没有了不是没有钱赚怕赚了没有脸算越来越没有眼看自己曾经祝愿放在天上笑笑放在脸上结果自己做到自己没有人走的路我会走到有的钱可以再赚点丢了就没有了
They ask how are you dating? But please stop asking, I can't take it. So they tell me to stop chasing. You know it's over, time to face it. Oh, I know I should move on, but I just can't. So how can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything. There's Too many great memories. I can't erase them. All I see when I walk past the street where we meet for a drink or two, and I'm drunk on you. Oh, I know I should move on, but I just can't. Oh, I think that I might love you till the end. So how can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything. There's nothing when you're gone. How can I forget you when you were the one? You used to be my everything. There's nothing when you're gone. Let go, let go, let go,
去做到，什么都不用怕，有你的手手。Every day do you feel I'm in risk no more？ 除了你以外的 girl， 她们都是受伤。Only one that I feel like a signal。Even baby you lose， I will never let go。偷偷 try 我的 word， 就别想偷走，把心坏了装进你的底油。Oh my god， 你问我 baby do you love me？ 那今天必须给你一个 my 的回答。I say baby love me， 不需要害怕，因为答案就是今晚要把你带回家。Baby follow me and please don't worry， 拍下你的 pretty face， 播进我的 story。冒天气一起飞 and we getting foggy， 换装进来我的背 ，Let's get naughty UD。Lord is rare， I found it，I will keep it。Everything you said you that will be listed。不想告诉你我的 secret，I missed it。我 straight to the point， 那些多余的 skip it。不能依靠我带你去做到，什么都不用怕，有你的手手。Every day do you feel I'm in risk no more？ 除了你以外的 girl， 她们都是受伤。Only one that I feel like a signal。Even baby you lose， I will never let go。偷偷 try 我的 word， 就别想偷走，把心坏了装进你的底油。
给他买个包 ，Christian Dior，And you know that I'm about， 带你离开地球。Say you only want me， 不需要理由。I'ma fade on in the city， 就想 be with you。I'ma go so hard，that's only for my late。在你美丽人生给你增加一个 baby。My life is a 电影，继续 go crazy。I'ma get ready，fuck you pay me。I'm still running on my shit，running through my city，and I do my thing。想给你发个信。Baby 记得带上 no cash no rain。 I pull up in the car， 我带你去兜兜，什么都不用怕，给我你的手肘。Everything I do with you and I do it slow mo。 除了你以外的 girl， 她们都是受伤。Oh you know that I feel like a signal。Even baby you lose I never let go。偷传我的 word， 你就别想偷走，把心都坏了装进你的底油。Pull up in the car， 我带你去兜兜，什么都不用怕，给我你的手肘。Everything I do with you。
Yeah, I'm not a yeah. Are you that I got no clue how we got to this point where it's just us two. But I can't help but to want more of you. Girl, I can't live without you like that O2. Want me by your side, so I flew to your hometown, I know. Drove like it seems I got nowhere to go. But really we got this session on the go. In the morning your mama gonna knock on your door. So we gotta keep it down. It's too damn hot in here to not make a sound. Hitting on the spots like as if they're newfound. Movement synchronized, got the common ground. Oh. Let me stay tonight, girl, put you on top like. One thing for sure, yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm not a fuck, baby. Are you down to fuck, baby? Yeah, I'm not a fuck, baby. Are you down to fuck, baby?
Without you, babe, I could lost. Without you, babe, I could lost. Without you, babe, I could lost. Baby, I swear I need you the most, yeah. Without you, babe, I could down, yeah. Without you, babe, I could drown, yeah. Bukan jenis jika dia ni babe, tak nak bagimu cause she just give me head, oh my. She know bila mood aku tak berapa alright. Tenangkan aku bila ku acting so line, there be no light. Fake zone, ini fake though. Maybe bongkok if you tak jadi backbone.
Baby. Are you down to fuck, baby? Yeah, I'm down to fuck, baby. Are you down to fuck, baby? Yeah, I'm down to yeah. Are you down to fuck?
This thing got me moving, loco, calm like Kojo, I'm making these funds. Up and down, no YOLO, done on my solo, I'm making these runs. I want showboat, calm like burner, keep it on the low, I might get done. I wanna take no photos, looked at bro, one wrong move, get bun. One wrong move, get bun on the waist, avoiding purple, I'm ripping the sun. Say no promo, lifestyle's local, that's why bro, better grip this gun. This thing's so freaky, really. She wanna fuck me by the back no front. Suck me up in the Lambo truck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. Everyone know me as a local tuck. Supplying this grub and the local pluck. Ching pon me, my coat all tucked. Been on roads that Jake so fuck. Never like no one coming up. I was in the trap, I was also young. Got one young, she never had no luck. Took him in, he was fucking up. Now the Jake's all on me. Why do you think I got my mask on the situation sticky? I was in a bando breaking down grub while Zach got the blocks all jumpy. Fucking with a gang, pussy come with a verbal chat, and the mandom's touchy. Yo, all night I was feeling cocky. I was moving reckless way, nearly got nicked but I got off lucky. Take a man down if I see it, not like I'm in the field still playing rugby. On the roads we're doing that, Michael and Jason pull up with a son or Chucky. Lastly, big girl ting but she's moving fussy. Benny, Louis, Gucci, she wanna suck me while she's riding passy. Lucky, all this sin in my J telling me to pray to the Lord above me. Grip this rubber, I'm making fatty. Jake's on me, now the football coming like Messi. This thing got me moving, loco, calm like Kojo, I'm making these funds. Up and down, no YOLO, done on my solo, I'm making these runs. I want showboat, calm like burner, keep it on the low, I might get done. I wanna take no photos, looked at bro, one wrong move, get bun. One wrong move, get bun on the waist, avoiding purple, I'm ripping the sun. Say no promo, lifestyle's local, that's why bro, better grip this gun. This thing's so freaky, really. She wanna fuck me by the back, no front. Suck me up in the Lambo truck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. 4 bad bees in a Lambo truck. 3 tick things and a dead thing suck. Let them in cause she still one suck. Let them in cause she still one buck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. Where we're from, bare men been touched. Step round here, you might get touched. Step round here, you might get yucked. Mom told me don't test my luck, but I'm sorry, mom, need to get this print. This dead thing, say she won't get fucked. Close my eyes, say just give me in. I don't like bad bees, short and sweet. 5 for 5, it's just 10 out of 10. You heard that line, I'm finna lie. I'm just trying to get a feature with stench. Bro, just caught 3 lines, no logo. I told bro like no more. Done this thing on my solo. Back then, bad bees say no go. Back then, bad bees say homo. Now they all want Bronco. Now they all want photo. Looked at bro like no. Zach got a stick, no polo. That's why bros must up like Zorro. Wanna link girl go Soho. Make her bounce on my date, no pogo. GN ski then go. Can't wipe that picture, ho. Hey, where you met you in Bedo? Caribbean girl Barbados. This thing got me moving, loco, calm like Kojo, I'm making these funds. Up and down, no YOLO, done on my solo, I'm making these runs. I want showboat, calm like burner, keep it on the low, I might get done. I wanna take no photos, looked at bro, one wrong move, get bun. One wrong move, get bun on the waist, avoiding purple, I'm ripping the sun. Say no promo, lifestyle's local, that's why bro, better grip this gun. This thing's so freaky, really. She wanna fuck me by the back, no front. Suck me up in the Lambo truck. Don't do job, but my ching still tuck. This thing got me moving.
She walks in fury into the night. Her blameless fires burn the sky. And all that's best of her, and all that's bright, fade from her aspect and her eyes. The darkest shades now, the rays have gone. Impair the nameless grace
Renatus.
The darkest shades now, the rays have gone. Impair the nameless grace of you. And thoughts of shame that you gaze upon. Cause no one sees what you do.
What will Madness Zen bring? He's here. Red, practical.
Cause no one sees what you do.
Only adult, I don't need you to need me. At least I know who I am. You dare to hope that you'll keep me from leaving. 'Cause you think if I'm yours, I'll make sure you feel like a man.
They're playing Icebox again.
Hey, we're back again on the Battle for Supremacy, all-woman series tour, organized by Madness, Urban Madness, and Living Minds, sponsored by Tito. And right now, we're actually going to start the second face-off, which is Madness Zen versus Boosted 2.0. We haven't actually seen them in action yet, so I'm looking forward to see what's gonna be played during this these two, between these two. I mean, yes, there's a little bit catchy words there.
I'm very excited to watch these two teams play once again, as it seems like Boosted 2.0 does have some interesting names, I must say nonetheless, but it'll be quite an interesting play to watch them. And once again, we are not sure how this will go, which team will win, as we have not seen these two teams play yet.
Well, yeah, you were right about one thing though. The names, they're the names from Boosted 2.0. They're very special. What is this? Let's take a look at the roster. There's Alistair
Ni
Ben.
aku teka. Diamond,
There's
diamond 2,
Cater Sis.
black 3 aku dah.
Bad Aim. T. I'll just call it 8T.
18. Yep. They
Salam from Binjai.
they've
There's this guy
decided,
called Salam
yeah.
from Binjai. All right, so all right, I guess that's it. And let's look at the roster for Madness Zen, which is Shibin, Quack, Ren, Ashubu, and Kuromi. I think they uh short forms of their names. Like for example, Salam from Binjai. I can't just say that right away. I just SFB, man. I don't know. SFB,
Salam.
SFB, Salam, Salami, Lamau. Salami, 8
and
T's.
Alice.
Alice, Salam, 8 T's, Badim, Catharsis. Alright, that sounds about right. Then we're not really sure about the map though. Is it gonna be Icebox K?
It seems like they'll be playing Ascent first and then Icebox next.
Ascent first, then Icebox next.
Or
It's always
Fire.
Ascent, right? I told you it's gonna
Not
be a comfort pick.
exactly sure. Yes, it will be.
Yeah, not gonna be entirely sure, but I'm not
So
surprised if it's gonna be
find
Ascent though.
Fracture and Breeze.
Because Ascent is like, I gotta say, it's like one of my most favorite maps. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have that as a favorite map as well.
A lot more has studied the lineups for Ascent as well.
Do you do Sova? I mean, Sova lineups?
Sova, Viper lineups, and yeah.
Brimstone Molly lineups as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do that. Okay. I mean, the map isn't exactly big, not exactly small. Like I said again, it's very versatile. It's a very fun map to play in general. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like compared to the likes of Fracture. Do you actually like Fracture? I mean, it's a cool map and all, but I think it's still letting the community get used to it a bit.
I mean, it took a while for people to get used to Icebox. What I can say is that players do not like something that's new. Of course, they'll find the biggest flaws, and of course, the game developers will try to find a way to appease the community. But when it comes to Fracture, I still struggle playing it, and the only agent I can play on Fracture is actually Sage, because I can't think of lineups. I don't know where to smoke. It's confusing. I don't know
Not
where
much
to
of a
look.
smoke person. All
Yes.
right. Okay. So, I mean, Fracture is pretty big. I'd say it's a very interesting map to be honest. There's like two ways, not just two ways, four ways you can attack. Like, it's much more of an attacker's map. It's very flexible. This is a very flexible map. But let's not talk about Fracture. Let's talk about a more a more used to map, ones that the players of the Valorant community is like more used to. Let's talk about
Haven.
Haven. Yes, Haven's one. I was actually gonna say, what was that again? There was
Fine.
another one. That island part, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, Breeze. That island.
Yeah.
I still remember how that came out, and it had a mixed response from the audience, but it was good nonetheless. But it looks like we need to cut things short because we're actually heading into game right now, and the first map is gonna be Ascent. It's gonna be Ascent for the first map. Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be Madness Zen versus Boosted 2.0, and this is gonna be round one of the face-off. And let's go ahead and see what's gonna be the composition of the team so far.
Seems like Salam has already locked in Jet, and Alice has locked in Sova. Other teams, no one has locked in yet. Seems like they aren't quite sure yet.
It's a comfort pick though. If it's Ascent, I'd always say it's a comfort pick. And like, looking at Madness's roster, we have Sheepbean, speculating Jet maybe, and both sides have an Astra, versatile smokes. Once again, I see a pattern. I'm pretty sure it's very coincidental, but not as coincidental as I mentioned. But it seems like it's a meta. It's meta based. The choices are meta based.
Select your agent.
That's Ren, Ashubu, Kuromi, and stuff. I see Sky, flashes and stuff. But as for boosted 2.0, they don't have a flasher. But they do have utility though. They do
I've
have.
noticed in Ascent there's always gonna be a Sova as usual, since it's a great map for Sova lineups.
I mean, it's actually Sova is actually a very nice agent in general. You have information, you have aggression, all packed into one. It's like a combo pack, you know?
Yes.
You get info and stuff. You just don't get utility to smoke off angles. But hey, you trade info for that. I guess it's a win.
Turret out.
Placing swarm grenade.
Since looks like it's gonna start with them trying to push A
Placing
side
swarm
for
grenade.
this round. Let's see if this will set the momentum for both teams.
See so as well.
They're not quite as aggressive here, which would be a great play for them.
Watching here. Shot.
Ooh, great play by Shibi right there.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Useless individual.
So that was quite a fast game actually, as though, well, it seems like on that game, they did a quite slow push. It was a very, very slow push from Boosted 2.0, but luckily Mads couldn't defend against that, honestly. Because once in the slow push, they, if I'm mistaken, it was Salam.
Checking the situation.
She suddenly pushed right quickly and then
Right
easily
there.
took over the site, and that was probably how they won the game.
Revealing area.
You have 8T pushing very aggressively out with a judge there, and both of the members of Madness pushing away, backing off from that paint shells. A little bit intimidation. Slow push. And there's one, but two. Already a second. Moving into for more, but there's already the smoke cutting out the there. But he just goes in right
Spike
inside
down
the
B.
kill. Getting a potential third, but doesn't actually get time to switch
One
out for the
enemy
goal to get
remaining.
the final kill there. But it gets cleaned up by Alistair Ben for the last possible second. Very aggressive judge play over there.
That's a great play by AT.
It's a very aggressive play. Looking back, their defense is workable, and that actually I think they did a number on the mentality of Madness Zen right over there. That 8T judge there, that was aggressive as hell. I'd say just pushed out without regrets, and it actually worked well for the team. That was the second victory for Boosted 2.0. Not really boosted, I'd say. They're not really boosted. Let's see some skills here.
Boosted 2.0 here on the saving side with some light machine guns.
Oh,
Just
already
have
down
to.
for first pick. Yeah, Ren already down for Salam there. It's ballsy advance. You have Matt and already planning, calculating to take over A side. Alice, not
Unfortunate
successfully
for
playing
Alice.
home.
Alice did somehow manage to predict that, but unfortunately it was a gun miss. Great play by AT. Managed to take health.
One enemy remaining.
A little bit of strife over here. Kuromi's down to very low health. He'll find it with the spike here and
Wow.
picking up by the paint shells to secure the third round right away. And it's another victory, consecutive victory, third consecutive victory for Boosted 2.0. It's all
Actually, great
ATs
play by AT here.
Yes, she is actually doing pretty aggressive, I'd say, with a judge and after that a vandal. Very flexible movements, fluid movements, I'd see. They're already down with an op, and you have Madness Zen saving with sheriffs and all that. Trying
Great
to save a
AT
bit.
also very much knows how to play with her utilities on this.
Well, yes, she finds her way of being aggressive and trying to like cut up some corners for some successful play. There's a little bit of strife out in A. Madness there, so they should go here, but awkwardly gets scanned there. She being down with sheriffs. Receive, they actually kind of try to pick a few, I guess. To check some corners and all that. We have Alistair Ben just cooped up in Haven here. Utility and stuff like that, waiting for the go-to. Waiting for the green light.
Salam with the flank, with an off by the
Stay down.
great
Anna.
collateral
Spike down,
shot
attacker
right
spawn.
there. Great play once again by Salam.
Placing alarm bot.
Still ace, actually.
One enemy remaining.
There. Salam from the side just comes in here. Almost gets an ace,
But nonetheless, that was a great play. Get him with the collateral and managed to flank them with an op, which doesn't really fare well to other flankers, but she made it work, and that is amazing.
actually smoking in here, and Salam with that op. It was pretty crazy back there how she was offing at the same time as she was flanking at the same time, and the first kills were actually a collab. And notice how she immediately smoked off that corner with the cloud burst there to get her some cover for the third potential victim, which was Shibeen. And I think she's gonna corner this herself, gonna scope up that angle and secure the entire site for a bit, but yes, that's not gonna work out for a bit here as she retreats, has Quack, and rest preparing utility to make sure the entry is safe.
Headshot.
AT over here in the courtyard already getting one down, potentially getting two. Showstopper. What else could be wrong? They could just force their way into side right away with Madness going down with 3 members. It's gonna be hard for them to come back in a bit, but they'll find themselves with 1 and 2 members as well. A lot of whipping.
Fortunate for Alice there. It's now a 2v1.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, great picks by Alice right there.
It's already a 5th victory consecutively, a 5th victory once again. And for Madness Zen, I feel like they're just starting to warm up a bit. They can still do something at this point. It's not far, but 0 to 5, there's a bit of a gap there, and I'm pretty sure you don't want anything to advance from there, you know? But looking back, they got their ultimates here. You got AT and Salam, they have their ultimates ready. The duelists are ready to pack. And
Get out of my way!
most of them have their ults as well. I mean,
Enemy
it comes in
tag.
the circumstance, it comes in the condition where they have AT is very aggressive as usual, already going down and getting with a headshot, getting down with Shibeen. A duelist and initiator already down for Madness Zen, leaving them with 3, and most of the members just cooped up around courtyard.
Great dodge right there by AT. Managing to dodge that.
Right down.
Perfect. Last player standing.
Here, Madness will find himself with
Play
Philip's
once
lob,
again.
get cleaned up by the rest of the members from Boost 2.0.
Now, it seems that the name of Boosted 2.0 is not really a boosted, as they are leading now by 6 points to 0.
The name Boosted actually implies that they are lackluster, but
Right
I
here.
do not feel that it is
I do not
actually
feel that at all.
a reference. Maybe that is a far-fetched joke, I don't know, but so far I can see that they are packing heat. They're packing heat, yep. And as of now, I'd see a lot of aggressive plays as usual. They're very ballsy, very hardcore plays, but they're not punishable, I'll say that. So throws just coming in. Here, already heated up, it's a bad position for them. And you have Alice Prevent finding himself 2 kills with the Hunter's Fury. And it's all down to 2 members here, Shibeen and Aku. Gonna hold off a bit, there's an op.
One enemy remaining.
Alice Prevent crazy on the third again. Herself a 4th.
Boosted 2.0 has gotten the confidence and has gotten the momentum to keep on pushing, as they now have a 7-0 lead, which is quite a great lead and is very difficult to close that, especially with the confidence of probably
I'm going
Madness
above.
Zen going slowly down. But hopefully they can redeem themselves and pick up their confidence and their momentum.
That was pretty neat. I'd say that was pretty neat for real. You have, who was that, Salam and Alistair Ben? They were just slicing up that territory, man. They made use of the territory,
Scanning
the
ahead.
terrain in general, and just popped out the Hunter's Fury. Found himself kills, a bunch of kills, and just advanced from that.
It seems as well as Madness Zen is forced to be on the saving side on this. They only have pistols and a Marshall. Not really the greatest
Jets
player.
grounded.
One enemy remaining.
Back. They're already cleaning up the rest of the members of Mad. Just here, doesn't find himself with the pick, but becomes a flawless for Boosted 2.0. It's not exactly boosted, but I'd say that name is really far-fetched.
And now Boosted 2.0 has way more money than they actually need.
the money is capping here. It's like it's overflowing a bit. It's gonna be overflowing in a bit, but both sides are doing okay. I'd say okay as an economy. It's not severe for Madness Zen, but
now.
it's gonna be lacking if they don't win this round. I'd say.
They will be forced to save once again.
Yes, exactly. Salam, a very aggressive push out in the mid courtyard, trying to find a few potential picks out here, and yeah, a lot of members out of Madness Zen. They're preparing to take over the side of A with that Killjoy lockdown. There's no Hunter Spirit to counter that as of now. Romy can pull out Secret Orb at the last second.
Great play right there. The lockdown has been destroyed. Romy already planting though. Oh, accidental shot dart right there on the teammate. Friendly fire.
It's just a matter of
Revealing area.
controlling territory, making sure the spike doesn't get defused here. Members here out all outside.
They're already defending.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
It's gonna be a Solver here, but Alistair Ben will find time to defuse the last possible second. I don't think Ashru notices that the spike is going down, but here comes the shot dart. It's not possible.
Oh, defenders win once again by that split second defuse hold.
Wow, that was a hard clutch. I'd say a hard clutch, not as in you actually killed someone, but you actually fooled them into making sure that the spike couldn't be defused, but at the same time, it was already underway, you know?
Seems like it.
That's actually pretty... that's a very nice play. That round would have been Madness Zen's game, but Alistair Ben, I'll say again, that was impressive.
It seems like they asked for a pause. Not sure if it's technical or they have to try or they have to re-strategize.
Man, if I were you, not if I were you, if I were Madness Zen, I'd want to take a break as well, because this boosted 2.0, they're packing a lot of heat with a lot of pace, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree. They have to recollect themselves and think of a strategy right now.
The way things are going, it's a little bit too quick, don't you think? It's already 9-0. But as of now, they're just taking a pause. They're taking a bit of time to rest, ease up their mental, building up that mental a bit, make sure they can go on a bit, because it's a very big disparity, a big gap in the score. It's 9-0 already, and it's only been like less than 20 minutes in the game, man. It's actually pretty fast. In the meantime, we can see that Boosted 2.0, the team of Boost, they're restless. They're restless. They're eager to fight for more, but Madness, I think they need some time. Just a bit of time, I guess, to build up a bit of momentum. Because I feel like they lack the momentum as of now. It's still the first round though, so it's still the first half of the match, but it can still be properly, quickly ended by a Boosted if they actually take this very, very seriously.
Right now, I'm looking at the scores, and it seems like 8T and Alice have been leading with 15 and 13 kills. And both teams this time managing to buy full guns, kind of, as Kuromi has decided to save with a half shield. Seems like Vandal is the gun to play for these two teams, and let's see how this plays once the timer goes out.
rest time, taking a bit to unwind a bit, and they're ready, I guess. You have team members of Madness. They're ready to brawl once again. We'll look at the scoreboard and you can tell they're not lacking in guns, not lacking in armor.
Keep it cool.
Maybe a
That's
bit
how
of
you
a
survive.
setback for Kuromi right there with the lighter armor, but they're gonna have to make use of it either ways. Alice a very yard. Looks like momentums have been picked up a bit, and catching them from mistakes and all that. It's down to 3-3. How fast can games get right now? And you have a lot of members of Mad just grouping up around there.
Great hit by Shinjin right there.
You're gonna settle for B as it seems. It's not utility. Utility's getting placed as we speak, and strategically placed once again. They are unaware that she's on site. Bad aim is actually on site.
Kills right there from bad aim.
Get a third here.
Bad aim does not have bad aim. I must say.
Bad aim there. Getting her first 3 kills out of the 10 consecutive wins out here. Those were the first 3 kills she has.
Seems like it. Well, she has been playing a great support, as it seems, as they have been getting 10 consecutive kills right here. 10 consecutive wins right here.
Alarm bot out.
Alarm bot.
Placing swarm grenade.
Swarm grenades of bad aim were actually pretty well placed, I'd say. Members of Madness then couldn't find them.
Get out of my way!
Early, they were under fire. Starting on the 11th round, they're already the Hunter's Fury, but that was the ball. Pushing it too hard, but TTT makes it up for it and catches them off guard. And there's a showstopper. I feel like his hands are getting itchy there. He's gonna pull out the showstopper anytime now. Oh yeah, and he goes with
He
it.
is up, unfortunately. It's not needed. Oh, I stand corrected.
Him down, but
I stand corrected.
with a little bit of AK firing over there, and it's another secure
Last
win
round in the
for
half.
Boosted 2.0. They're going very aggressive here. This might potentially be a 13-0 if things go very grim, don't you think?
It seems like it. It seems like it, but it doesn't seem that Madness is not gonna stop fighting though. They will try. Hopefully, maybe by a flip of a coin, maybe they will manage to have a beautiful, miraculous comeback from this. The 11-point gap.
Let's hope it is that we will man this guy all the way. So let's see how it goes. You have members of Madness Z. Aware that Salam is already making his way up towards home place by Quack there. Quack in the corner there, and he gets caught down by Salam. Salam eventually finds another and starting to move towards the lobby there. Up there, he finds Silva on attending, but doesn't get a 50.
Spike down A.
Right
Not
away.
an ace. Managed to catch that. Managed to catch Ashwubu unattended though, as he was in the drone setting, and could not notice
Switching
that someone was
sides.
already creeping up.
Match
from behind.
point.
Hell, I'd say Salam is one cookie. I'd say she just pushes herself out into A lobby all the way from courtyard and starts moving them one by one. Pulls out the Blade Storm right away to get himself a potential kill on Kuromi, but sadly doesn't hit the shots perfectly aligned to get Shibi to end things right away. But the team makes it up for her loss there and makes it up with a almost flawless, I guess. Nonetheless, solid play, I'd say. That must do a number on the mental of Mad.
Quite a scary competitor right there.
It's 12-0. It's match point already. As I said, if things do get really grim, it can be 13-0. It can be 13-0. Well, let's see. Let's hope it doesn't end things like that.
Let's just see how they play at the ending. A great push by both duelists right there.
Just pushing in without second thought, just trying to get the spike down as possible, seeing as how the spike never really gone down a bit. There's a first from Salam, a second, but gets caught off guard by Ashwubu. TDC makes up for it.
Player standing.
And it is a win, perhaps, and it is a win indeed.
Attackers win.
Congratulations to Boosted 2.0. It is in fact a 13-0.
I said so myself. It could be a 13-0 if things went grim. It could be a 13-0, and it was a 13-0. I don't know what went wrong, but maybe you came down with Boosted having a little bit too much excitement. You could tell from TTT and Salam, they were actually ripping the roof off of Madness, and they were actually aggressive. They're eating. They're trying to eat as much as they can right over there.
He really ended that with a 20 kill, and Alice with a 17, Salam with a 15 kill.
I gotta say, that ended really quickly. That was only like 30 minutes, man. That was only
That
30
was
minutes.
only 21 minutes.
21 minutes. You had this recorded. That's even better. I mean, even better in terms of Boosted side of things, but that's pretty bad for Madness side of things. But nonetheless, let's see what they can pack for round 2, because this is not the end. They can still make something happen. They must make something happen, I'd say. Back to you, Kay.
Honestly, I did not expect this at all, as I did have my slight doubts as when I was looking at the teams. It looks like I thought, oh, Madness Zen had a more coordinated team because they actually had like the Mad Z on their names, and it seemed like Boosted 2.0 just had a bunch of names. So, but it seems like I was stand corrected, as Boosted 2.0 absolutely slayed on that game. But it seems like the next map will be Icebox. So we'll be taking, yes, and it seems like the two teams will be taking a 5-minute break.
Well, I think that kind of did a little bit of mental on Madness Zen's members there. I mean, Boosted, you stand corrected, Kay. You said about that name, Boosted 2.0. I think that was for meme quality.
Yes.
They're not boosted, man.
Like,
I feel
they
like
are not
there's
boosted
something
at
else.
all.
Bad aim? You should change your name to Good Aim or God Aim. I don't know. Think about it yourself.
Definitely. We saw how she played on that last clutch round where she was in sight, and that was amazing play right there, because she hit every single shot and secured that round.
Yeah, it wasn't not much action from Kate Resist that back there though, but she's just riding the wave with the team, you know. And Madness and a little bit disorientated, I'd say, from the overall tactic and plan. Not much plans were thought of. It was just either one side or the other, and a very loud intrusion, just a straight entry. And execution wise, it was good at the beginning, but at the end of things, it was not really feasible, because once utility starts to fade, I mean, by utility I mean by smokes, you get what I mean? Utility,
yes,
stuff, there's nothing to cover up for a bit. That's where things start to get a little bit into mayhem, and that's when Boosted members, they just barge in, you know, and just sweep up, mop the floor with them right from the get-go there.
I really want to talk about that last round though, where Boosted had to be on the attacker side. I saw how AT would put down her satchels, and that actually boosted Salam. Salam was Jet, and it actually boosted Jet up so that she could get a better dash on that one, and that was amazing play. That's why I said that was a great push by both duelists, as they really worked together to improve each other's push. That was one of the best entry frags I've ever seen.
Right on that. I see a lot of potential from 8T. That's a lot of T's, really. I'll just call her 8T. And Salam.
Yep,
Salam from Binjai. Alistair Ben, not to mention, she also did a really good job as a solo there. Seeing back in, it was around round 7 or round 6, she had the Huntress Fury out. Alistair was just hanging around with Salam there. They were just pushing A main, and luckily for them, most of the members of Mad Zen were around A lobby as well. They were just hiding over there. And once Salam and Alistair gets the green light to pop out their ults and just mad dash them for a bit, they just went haywire on them, and actually it produced results. Let's say that it produced results.
I agree. Great place right there.
Great place. I did not expect it to be 13-0, but that was mad fast. That was mad fast.
So,
Usually games like these last around 40 minutes, but that only lasted 20 minutes.
yes, I mean, it's really fast. We're gonna start again in 5:15, which is 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 more minutes.
Yep.
We're gonna have to wrap this up as soon as possible, but let's recap back on what were the most inspiring plays when we seen there. I gotta say the most memorable ones from that last round I saw was from Salam just flanking from behind with the op and getting those first 2 kills. That's classic.
Yes.
Getting a 3rd and 4th right away as well. She was so aggressive. She wanted all the smoke, I'd say, but she produced all the smoke, you know? Wanted all the smoke, but didn't get any of it. But instead,
She gave them
packed
the smoke.
Yeah, pack the smoke.
For me, it would definitely be Alice Turban, where she held onto that diffuse even though she was like getting all the smoke from the other Sova, and really played with that Astra wall well, and did manage to get that diffuse right there.
Oh yeah, that was one too. Nice eyes, Kay. I kind of forgot that, overlooked that a bit, but gotta say that was actually impressive as well.
That was
I
very
really like that
close.
too. Who was that again? You had Ash Wubu and Alistair Ben. Alistair Ben actually managed to defuse that, so it was kind of impressive. That wall, that cosmic divide, was
Oh,
something else.
and as well as when it was ATT where she rushed and she got the info where she in A main where she threw the satchels and the shells, but then Alistair Ben popped up with the ult and got everyone that was in A main. It was just beautiful.
It was actually beautiful, which was the one I actually mentioned right there, and that was really memorable. I'd say it was very impressive. She got herself with 2 kills, and she had TTT and Salam clean up from the rest. There was no potential flankings. Not much flankings were done, but when flankings were done, they were done right. And
Yes.
Madness was very cornered, I'd say. Madness members were cornered.
I didn't really have that much hope when I saw the flank with an op, because that's not quite usual when you start flanking with an op. Oh, it seems that we're
Somehow it was
starting.
feasible. Yep, we're
Yes.
starting right away.
And it ended up being one of the greatest plays of the round, of the game.
yeah, as of today, I'd say that's one of the best plays, really. One of the best plays. So looks like this map's gonna be Icebox, and much
Seeing
more
a
of a
lot of
different.
familiar maps, yeah.
Yep, compared to Ascent right now, it's a larger map here, and you had Boosted there dominating Ascent back there in a while, but let's see how things fare in Icebox. Apart from that, let's focus on team composition. Okay, take it away.
So it seems that Alistair Ben will be dealing once again as Sova, Salam as Jet, and the other team has not really locked in yet except for Quack deciding to go as Viper, which is a great play as Icebox is a kind of a big map, so having that Viper wall will help her team quite a lot. And seems like the other team also had that in mind and may be locking on Viper. Yes, she has.
Yes, I see a potential KO. I feel like
Seems
not really,
like
but
mad. Why are they all locking? Why are they all hovering on Cypher?
Choose your agent.
I have no idea. Maybe. Oh wait, I'm starting to see a I'm starting to see a
Oh.
pattern. Ash
Is
Rubu,
it?
Alistair
Is
Ben
it
and
probably a
Salam.
matching team once again? Matching
Yes.
agents once again.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
Seems like it.
Seems like it.
Seems like we'll be having an agent diff for this game.
Shabin and Kuromi as the attackers, but for Madness Zen, they're going to be defenders for the first half of the round. And once again, the members have boosted as attacking. I see a lot of recurring agents here. You have Salam and Alistair playing the same agents as the ones they did in Ascent, and Ash as well. Maybe their niche picks, maybe their tricks, who knows.
Hopefully Mad's mental space hasn't gone down a bit, and let's see if they can have their redemption with this game.
Let's hope so, because I hope this is not the end of Mad right away. they have a lot of potential, I'd say, but maybe they were just disoriented mentally and strategically, I'd say. Now let's take a look at the attacking side of things. Quack and all that. They're ready.
Deploying drone.
Give it a go. Members already committed to B. Quack is alone here with that wall. Very meta in the wall. There's already a wall there from Sage. Trying to block off any entries from there. Trying to deny the plant. Then they go into like heavy territory to the plant.
They are managing to buy time. Yes, they're managing to buy time for the other teammates to be able to rotate.
Exactly. That is already being very fruitful. They've had Ash taking down AT right away. They're getting cornered and they feel like they should back off at this point, but no. Spike can't be placed. Gotta back up with She-Bean and the rest of the members of MAD. They're trying to creep up on them, pressure them on a rotation.
Got him.
Romy finds himself with one. Has She-Bean?
One enemy remaining.
Romy as well, but Romy
Great
takes
play.
the kill. It's gonna be the Spike taker at the last. He takes the last kill and denies the round 4 boosted.
Seems like She-Bean and Kuromi have some great synergy right there, because I saw them, they were trading positions while the other one was reloading. The other one would peek to not give any time for the other team to push, even slightly. So that was a great team. That was a great team tactic from Madness Zen right there.
That was a good observation, Kay. Yeah, I'd say yes. That was a very good team synergy. Back to the back, they were actually looking out for each other back there at mid, around tubes. Noticing how things don't work out. Actually,
revealing area.
Close, but they survived. Both, I would say, unscathed, but it was fruitful. Yeah. They produced results. This time it's gonna be A. Different this time. Making up trying to Sheriff from Salam. Salam trying to
Enemy kill.
First.
Risky
Kill here.
play. She-Bean getting shot down by Salam. And Ren hoping to heal her teammate.
Grounded.
Madness denying. Trying to repeat some aggression from previous rounds. North is trying to
Great use of the wall.
Last player standing.
I feel like this is going to be a no-show for boosted.
Seems like if this is a map for Madness, then to have the redemption.
Trying to not counter, as in reflect back the aggression they received back in Ascent. It's doing pretty well as of now, but who knows?
Hopefully they can keep this up with this momentum. Hopefully they can continue with this push and continue with this energy and motivation to keep on getting these kind of wins.
Of course, I hope so as well. And She-Bean, looking at their locations, you have She-Bean and Ash Rubo hanging around A. They need that silver information just in case. It's actually
revealing area
around here. But the members of Boosted, I guess they have committed to A as well. It's gonna be
take flight.
Counterproductive at this point. Punishes Salam from moving too far without the teammates. It's already starting to explode the brim for both sides as well as things get fraying.
Both teams are struggling.
Chuck that.
Getting the plant here, 3 members down, left for Madness D. Find some picks here.
Last player standing.
But they team respond with that win. And a very nice running gun from Ash.
Out of charges. Scanning ahead.
Unfortunately for that, he doesn't actually get any more information, so he has to go.
Ooh, this could be a gun diff as she only has a Spectre.
Yes. I actually gave him away, but I kind of saw how that would be a plausible feat there had she did any footsteps, you know.
Well, it seems like she was struggling because she was panicking about time, and maybe she felt as if there was no winning as she only had a Spectre and time was running out to defuse either way.
So as well, that makes the first victory for Boosted 2.0, and almost starting to get back on track. Right off the bat, the hunt begins. Spikes here, Viper's wall, both paralleling each other, polarizing each other, and trying to get that spike as soon as possible, just as attackers would do.
Enemy.
There, deny them from entering the site all at once. Members of Madness then have to try to regroup one way or another.
2 players of Madness are already down, so it's gonna be quite difficult for them to have a retake on this.
Exactly. Catharsis coming from the back. Pure sub.
Enemy remaining.
Just aggressive with that Empress there and get caught off guard by Catharsis from behind from that flanking. That makes a 2-2 here. They're trying to pick up the pace. An early 2 win from Madness then isn't much amount when you can come back right away with another 2 win of your own. So yeah, take it away, Kay.
Madness, Bad Aim actually seems to be quite a great player as Sage, because I've seen her how she plays her walls, tactical walls, where she would use it to defuse and as well as healing teammates. She's very fast on being support player here, which is quite impressive.
Productive here. That wall's been repositioned. There's 2 walls here paralleling each other.
Welcome to my world.
Viper's pit. Like once again. He finds himself a kill
Spike planted.
right off the bat. That's the first pick up this round. Yes, Roby finding one of his own, but actually gets picked and traded from Salam.
Cutting their vision. Last player standing.
Seems like this is gonna be a close fight, everyone.
Close battle. If I'm not wrong, this map was picked out by Madness then, but it's not looking very good right as of now because boosted. They're already building up the momentum. I feel like the momentum's at a threshold already. They're trying to go all out at this point. I feel like there's gonna be an op as soon as, and I'm right, there was an op from Salam there. Holy hell, things are actually getting really spicy. Not as spicy as that previous round, but you get
Scanning ahead.
You're getting there.
Well, that is a great Viper spit, I must say.
Quack finds himself one under her own domain.
Last player standing.
They cornered Quack into her own domain and just denied her any vision. That's
Spike
actually
planted.
a great way to take advantage of situations here. 4-1 now. They gotta force Quack to come out of the Viper's pit, which is her own domain. Spring drop there. Doesn't actually get a kill there, but almost.
Dude, it was a Quack hunt right there. She had no choice. She really expected them to go back and probably try to push B-side instead, but no, they decided to be aggressive and kept on pushing A-side and took over, planted outside of the smoke, which was used to their own advantage.
They took advantage of that Viper's pit though, because that Viper's pit, it was placed at the right location, but the way moves that they played around that was to take advantage of that by circling around the Viper's pit. It's catching the other members of the There's the operator from Salam there, just drifting away, making way into the site, trying to secure the site for her members.
One enemy remaining.
Trying to get a second, a third.
Play. Great place once again by 8T.
These duelists, man, I'd say 8T and Salam. These guys are packing heat.
They definitely know how to play as duelists. They definitely know how to play the role and be an entry fragger and get their frags.
Positions of how they place their utilities are also very worth mentioning. So you can say that Catharsis there, Catharsis with her toxic screens, she's always placing it very diligently, out of harm's way. I mean, right after that, they just begins and all that. They're doing a very good job at complementing each other off of their Snake by TTT again. AT again. Gets some cover here. And he gets a third and moves back. Gets a third. Almost a fourth.
Maybe an ace, perhaps an ace, unless taken by Salam, and it's
taken from Salam, but that was actually an intense play from AT. She was going haywire with the Empress, going flick back, repositioning here to there, getting information, and just tapping right away.
Ruthless, I must say.
Madness and members like in the palm of her hands, and that makes her KDA skyrocket right away, I'd say.
Immediately, she's already running with 17 kills and only 4 deaths.
Her presence is overwhelming, you can tell.
I can tell her.
Revealing area.
She is powerful. She is a powerful player. But Salam, let's not forget Salam with her up plays.
And I've seen people just play off plays. This girl just barges in with the operator head first, man. She's
The off plays with her on this.
Bruh, it's not.
You will not kill my ally.
Now.
It's exactly.
Let's see, Ren. Wow.
No one escapes.
Another win
No
once again. Brutal plays. They're now leading by so much points. I'm not sure if they can make another comeback from this.
Their sequence, man. I'd say the sequence is actually very worthwhile. The sequence is good.
Yeah. Once they get their momentum, they just keep on going. They just roll down the hill, full speed, no mercy.
Notice how they're always complementing each other, like looking out for each other's backs in a bit. That's one thing that pro players should take note of, because you don't just barge in by yourself. You need somebody to watch your back for you. Not actually flanking, but you need someone to train. That's something that people lack these days. They do not understand that having somebody train with you is actually much more worth it than just losing the battle. Gone quiet now, utility's already down. Gone to a cooldown there. But oh, that's a nice vision from that.
By that unfortunate wall.
That Fury actually gets a bit of decay there. But T just goes crazy there. Already down with first. Starting to get set. Already knows where the Lear is heading to. But nothing to make up for it.
One enemy remaining.
Got down by Quack with that Marshall there.
Quack is slightly stuck. She's been stuck in that
one enemy
for
remaining.
quite a while. Ooh, with a quick
Quack
flick, perhaps.
Here. The one to make a comeback of Salam with that op there. Already had his hindsights around his head.
Just had the better, heavier sniper on that one.
That backstage victory for Boost there. This is actually going pretty grim. It's a strong point, a strong start for Madness Zen there, but as things progress, there's a
Quickly
lot of
shut down
decay.
by Boosted 2.0.
Yes, there's a lot of decay. 8-2. It's almost up to the second half of the round here. Looks like it's gonna be an all-in in A, and again, I think they actually found out how things work now. 3 members of Mad already here, but one is already down as we speak from T. Absolutely denied. No more information for Madness Z, and they're just trying to push it to site as aggressive as usual. Checking out the corners here, securing the site always.
Nowhere to run!
Bit of vision there. There's the Hunter's Fury from Alice for Med. Clear out some angles there to reposition those choke points.
One enemy remaining.
That one tap. B punches them with one, but T punishes them. Salam and T powerhouses of Boosted.
Last round before the
I will
switch.
mention again, these two duelists know how to watch each other's back. As they rushed in, one checked the other's back and the other checked each other's back, as they were both around by rafters, and I just love how they were making sure to watch each other corners and securing that win easily.
Let's go. I see a judge there. I think Ren's already fed up with a lot of the hard pushes. I think he's just gonna come up with a but oh, this gun catches me off guard.
Get out of my way! Unfortunate.
For that. Looks like it wasn't that useful after all for that judge. Immediately shut down from Salam there.
Enemy marked.
Toxin screen down.
4-4. Polarizing here. You see most of the members of Mad already making up the site. Mad aim going down that wall. Gets the fight down.
Spike planted.
Takes a bit of the domain for themselves. Romy just comes up, creeping up behind. Spike team them, then he responds from there. And there goes Quack. It's only going to be Romy down left. It's going to be hard for them to defuse at this point because all sides are on them.
One enemy remaining.
And unfortunately,
It
they
was
get shut
you or
down
me.
by the rest of the members. Alistair Ben and Catharsis there, making them secure the 10th win for
Switching
Booster 2.0.
sides.
That marks
Now
up the second
switching
half.
sides.
First half, I mean.
Let's just see how this plays, as well as maybe they do better as defending, maybe do they better as attackers, but let's just see. They're now leading by 8 points, which is quite a big gap once again. And I do not see how they will be able to close this gap. Maybe by flip of a coin once again. Let's just hope for the best for Madness Zen.
So I'm starting to see a sequence I don't really like, but I mean, it's working wonders for Boosted here, and Boosted is capitalizing off of all of the strategies that they just did. They're making Madness Zen lose out in a lot of fights. They're really taking advantage of that. Now, Salam.
Great push once again. Salam and HG having one of the best synergies
Spike
right there, as
down
they
A.
know each other. They know how to push together.
One enemy remaining.
Almost getting caught off guard from Binjai over there. Just gets wrecked by Kuromi.
People in chat are starting to ask who's TTT, saying they're on fire. Well, let's just say that this girl is a beast as a duelist. Knows how to play, knows to get
Monster,
fit.
I'd say.
Indeed.
Noticed that moment when there was Kuromi and Quack all in that corner back in where was that? Back in Ness and Belts there. Seeing how Salam was actually in a tight position there, TTD just swoops down from that zip line and just comes shooting down that frenzy, getting that kill on Kuromi right away. They complement each other really well. And this time, I think they're trying to try B, but then Salam already taking down the first duelist there, denying some entry for a bit. That's a little bit of intimidation. Back away here. Now the Cloudburst and Tails went up to a high position, but the snake is there. There's a snake bite trying to shower them.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
It's only going to be one left, and Catharsis sweeps up the floor once again. It's going to be flawless. A 12 victory consecutively. 12 rounds.
Match point.
2.0. This might be the last. This might just very well be the last.
Well, Kiyoshi, how they check if the females are playing, they usually have a open cam before the match starts to confirm that it is in fact a female playing. So I hope that answered your question, Kofi, and let's go get back to the match.
They will cover.
TT is crazy, moving out all of them as the members of.
She is a beast.
One enemy remaining.
God.
Down. Attacker
of course, not a underdog.
Defenders
here.
win.
And GG2 boosted 2.0, securing another win by a great lead in points.
Wow, we gotta talk about that. round, man. That was as fast as that Ascent round we had earlier, and it was just sheer dominance from Boosted 2.0. It isn't. I wouldn't call them boosted anymore because that doesn't look like boosted. Are they actually
They
playing?
will be
individually?
doing the boosting in this point. They are too
Wow.
powerful.
I
They had
see from
great
the way I see it.
chemistry.
TT, 8T, and Salam, they did a lot. They really carried this round though, really. For real, they really carried this round, especially T. Her shots were unusually quick. She's very
No,
quick on her
but
feet and very agile on the
yes,
terrain.
I
Yes.
agree. And both top anti-fraggers knew what to do. And let's not forget Bad Aim with 9 assists and Alistair Ben with 7 assists and Catharsis with 5 assists. Those are a lot of assists. They do know how to play with each other. They do know how to play as assists and just great chemistry all in all. They know. They probably have played with each other definitely.
Yes. I feel like that as well. It was. Let's recap back on what happened right there. I saw AT just being a monster, wrecking out that outskirts of B just there before the spike was actually going down. She was already taking not 2 but 3, then eventually going into a 4th, but then finds Ash Woo Boo back into a corner, back in spawn there at the back sides of B, defender sides of B. She didn't actually get that, but you have Salam taking that last piece of the cake, and I gotta say, that round was actually eye-popping because I didn't expect things to escalate so quickly, and AT was a monster. AT was really a monster there with the Empress, just recharging, repositioning, and just aligning shots perfectly. Perfect shots, yes. Not much whiffing.
A lot more people in chat are still asking who's ATT. Probably a mystery player.
I'd actually
I
want to
mean,
know
like,
myself.
people are interested, yes.
She's a monster, really. And Salam,
is.
not to mention Salam, they're both
Oof,
monsters.
Salam. Both of
Notice how
these two girls are not supposed to be allowed in the same team because they are beasts when they play together. They are top-notch entry fraggers.
you notice how when Salam is with 8T, they never die. Both of them never die when they're with each other. Then they never go down. You know.
Never.
Yes, they watch each other's backs, which is really nice because, like I said, they're kind of a yin yang. Not much of a yin yang, but much more of a complementation of each other. They have their backs. Like they're really good at scoping out angles and checking out for potential peaks. It's like they predict some of the shots before they even come, you know. And AT is surprisingly good at that. I've seen her play. She's just a monster. One word to sum
I
up, she's a
agree.
monster. Yes.
So it seems like the games will presume around 8 p.m. later.
Yes, I think the games will come up in 8 p.m. That's an hour, a few hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes away from the current time. So with that, I guess we can wrap this up for a bit first, and let's come back later. But before that, let's recap back on what was happening there. So overall, boosted ain't really boosted. These guys, these girls are really something else. And I
Ladies,
thought
they
Renatus
are.
White was a force to be reckoned with. Now I gotta think back a bit because Boosted is gonna pack some hard competition for Renatus to face off against. And speaking of which, the next round's just gonna be Renatus White versus Boosted 2.0, which I'm pretty sure you all are looking very forward to and very eager to see how this will face off and how the results will come out. So by then, stay tuned. We'll see you guys at 8 p.m. Kay, do you have anything else to say before we turn this out?
All I can say is during your break, go take your potty break, go eat your dinner, and as well check out Teddo to make sure to have your own customized keycaps and keyboards to personalize your gaming setup.
Yes, that wraps it up. Oh yeah, facilitator Shu, we're out. Thanks.
Thank you once again.
Wow, dude, those boosted guys, holy shit.
Yo, dude, everyone's like
They
questioning
were
TTT.
very monstrous, bro, for real.
TTT, everyone in TTT's like TTT pro player, go boosted. Is TTT real?
I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no more. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, even after all the places we've been. Now you're just a silhouette to the sun. Maybe you thought that I'm the fool for sticking longer than expected, and it ain't cool for you. You had to do what you got to, and I'm not here trying to miss you. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care no more. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care no more.
I swear I used to care about you. Now our love fell apart, that's true. Needed you to be the one. Now I guess you're just my two. I won't lie, can't deny. Every night still think about you. The way your touch feels got me blushing. So can we take it slow for a minute? Let me show you my world for a second. I got a lot on my hands to be giving. I might lose my mind, but right now I feel like
I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care no more. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care, no. I don't care no more.
Mungkin aku, wait, who? Siapa tahu? Me? Habis tu siapa lagi? If you want it, go and get it. I want the diamonds, nothing too fancy. Ain't nobody do it like me. I don't say shit lightly. Dreaming too fast, bite me. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing it. Psych, swear to God I got it. I got the pace, need a vacation. Only thing I'm losing is patience. Feeling so shitty, I vibe with the cadence. Got no time to rest, got my eyes on the station. I'm pissed with myself cause I suck. Swear to God, I'm too much. Rangkaian atas rangkaian, cari visi dan bayangan hidup tak senang. Tak lari cuba ringkaskan, nanti jatuh ingin kemenangan. For that, for back, max on my paper. I gotta be good, the imposters around me forever a faker. Bitch not a factor, sayonara, see you later, goodbye. Cari jalan macam takkan dapat, living my life, kau harapan. Kawan jauh tapi musuh dekat, lari-lari kalau baik kau confirm lekat. Gotta save pace, mungkin lagi laju weh. But I shit, korang semua tak nak pandang weh. It's okay, I'm flying my own ways. Buat kasih lara homie, bukan takkan lara weh. Tell me who's next, mungkin aku, siapa tahu. Budak baru, tumpah lalu, lu. Budak baru, tumpah lalu, lu. Shit, mungkin aku, siapa tahu. Mungkin aku, siapa tahu. Mungkin aku, siapa tahu. Kerja keras impian ke atas. Kalau gua malas gua ingat misi aku. Dominasi 2021. Agak dan jus mengaku tak laku. Tapi tell me who's next man. Mungkin aku. Semua nak cake, semua nak start, semua nak duit. Jangan datang cari bingung semua wayang macam wayang. Kulit seragam man I never get it. You do it for the fame, I do it for the doing man. Going for that 100 bands. Pick up my pen and I'm plotting my plans. And I jot down my goals and I'm making more sense. I don't give a shit if you like me or not. I say the same man, like it or not. Budak dah besar, lain macam. Kurang manis, lebih garam. Saya like that, lu takkan faham. Jangan datang, bagi salam. Pasu tikam belakang. Belagak pandai, tali sapu lantai. Semua cakap banyak tapi tak pernah sampai. Straight to the chase. I'm running the city like I'm in a race. In a different opponent and switch on my pace. Cause lately I needed more space and I got a new place. Yo, I'm tying my lace. Different traits, got a face. You gotta keep a distance, I move in precision. I'm showing my shot like I'm Steph and call me a chef. Cause I keep running back to the kitchen, but that ain't my mission. Cause what if the moon don't shine, the sun don't rise no more? I wanna live my life like it's right or die. Sacrificing as the price is taking fights and always strive. That's how I live, writing no lies. These rappers gon' bite, but I'm always on sight, yeah. You never gon' like, I'm showing my shots like I'm my league at night, yeah. Yo, that shit ain't like, have my eyes in the scene and I swear I'm in love with the lights. I'm being polite, bringing the sauce to the city. My homies go litty, I'm blessed up, we don't fuck with nobody, yo.
I've got a friend and she doesn't really like you. She tells me when I'm sad, shows me all of the things that I should do when I am feeling mad. And I know I'll always love her. She's my family and mentor. I've got a friend and she doesn't really like you. She doesn't really like you. You can say that I should be more like yourself. But honestly, I don't think that we need your help. We don't need you around. You're just as good in the ground. I like our head in the clouds. I've got a friend, but she only lives in my head. She comes out when I'm sad and tells me things that are better left unsaid. Sometimes she makes me mad, but I know I'll never hate her. She's my family and mentor. I've got a friend and she doesn't really like you. She doesn't really like you. You can say that I should be more like yourself. But honestly, I don't think that we need your help. We don't need you around. You're just as good in the ground. I like our head